Dude, welcome to the podcast. Officially, we're in the portal. We're in the hole. We're off.
Right.
Well, dude, intro for the people, I guess. We have Niklas Eriksson coming in from outside of Åre, Sweden. Remind me the name of the town.
Garpen.
Garpen. Nice, dude. So, how's life out there? I don't know. Like, what are you up to in January of 2025?
We just holidays was to an end, so it's been so much people here in Åre because this is like the biggest ski resort in Sweden. So I think it was some sort of record this year of visitors and people spending the holidays. It was insane. Like you couldn't even drive in town because there was cars everywhere, and it was hectic, and lines were so long on the hill, and it's just what Åre is famous for. Like a lot of people go here, and especially now it was Christmas and New Year's was on Tuesday, so there was those squeeze days or whatever they call them. So people had a super long vacation during the holidays this year. So I think people come for a week for Christmas, and then they have some holidays. People are free from school in February, and then they come back for Easter. But since they were able to be here for 3 weeks straight now, I think just a lot of people saw that opportunity, took it, and went here and stayed for a long time. And that's what it is in all ski towns all over the world, I guess. But it was crazy this year. But I still got to ski a little bit. You just have to be a little smart when you go out. Maybe don't go out midday. Either go early morning or later in the afternoon. So, but it was. It's ski towns, but it was fun. A lot of people came here. Fortunately, the park isn't open here right now. They just have the small rail garden, but the main park is not open because Åre is going through some, I don't know, they're done a bunch of reorganization in the whole company, and people that were making building the park for years kind of quit or did something else. So it was all up in the air for a little bit there, but. There's a homie that works in the park now. His name is also Niklas, and he's been killing it. All the crews been killing it with the limited snow and resources they've been given. So at least there's something, but it's not what really the park or has been looking for the past 10 years.
Okay, right on. Dude, well, sucks for the park. I feel that's kind of a trend recently with just snow parks getting more and more divested. I've not seen many parks get better and better over the years. You know what I mean? I feel it's only been going in the other direction.
Definitely, yeah. It's crazy. I don't know, yeah. Don't really why, but I guess a lot of people are so used to. I feel that it just has been there, but I think the people that has been building it or they were so into it, and then I don't know. I don't think they maybe have been giving giving whatever the love or the creativity getting the recognition that they may would the what's the word be
Kind of.
Yeah, but oh, it's kind of and now everyone is so branded, I guess is the word, and people, I don't know, it's just weird how the whole industry has turned out, because I do think it's growing, but is it, or is it getting bigger, or because are the sales good? Because you said, I feel the parks all around the world is get a little smaller, and I don't know, it's weird. I guess it's hard to make money on like what it costs to build a park is like not really coming back, even though like you have a ton of people skiing it. It's just like so much more convenient to just groom a slope than to build like make snow for like weeks and then have cab drivers working night and day for weeks and to make it happen. It's like a lot of money, but it's just like kind of weird because I feel like it's so many people that ski park now.
Yeah.
But like at least smaller kids.
It's funny you mention it now that I'm thinking about it. If I owned a hill, I would definitely put a park in because I'm a diehard, but I can see the decision to not make one. Like, you're just going to get a bunch of kids who are like probably skipping passes or buying season passes, but they're not spending the money at the restaurants and stuff like that. Rather, they're packing their own lunches. Around here, they're ripping beers at the top of the park, smoking joints everywhere, like skiing switch super fast down all the slopes or whatever. And then there's probably a helicopter like every 2 days going into the park, airlifting people out, which is like not a good look, I would assume.
Yeah, maybe. But I
I,
do think, I don't know, I think like a lot, like at least up here, I don't think I've seen a single kid that brought lunch with him. Like everyone's just like doesn't do it like what like when I grew up. Like I took the bus every morning. Like I didn't get like my parents never drove me. Like I'd have to get there by myself and like I had to pack my lunch by myself. Or if I didn't eat anything. But now like it's so like served, and I guess that might be a thing too. That like people just are for granted and not appreciating the people that was making it happen, and by not doing so, they just probably didn't feel like they couldn't evolve or they like didn't go anywhere, and they've been doing it for X amount of years, and maybe the people wanted to do something else that like make them feel appreciated of what they are been doing, because I could see that happening too. You know?
yeah, it could be, man. I don't know. You got to find these people in aura up in the management and just get the down low, like
I
document.
know them, but it's just like it's not. It's a like multi-million company, and it's people that are in charge. They like have very hard time to like get the message through. I was talking with one of my homies today, and he was like, "Yeah, now they want to like." They were like getting so much complaint from all the like parents and people that were here during the Christmas. And it's like, "Where's the park? Why is there no park?" And he was like, and then they asked him like, now like, why, where's the park? And they're like, I've been telling you guys this, like we haven't like we don't have any new, like all the cat drivers are brand new, like they don't know how to do it, and it's like very hard. But I mean that, I mean it's gonna come up eventually. I mean it's probably like here in like 2 weeks or something, but just like missing that holiday, and a lot of people that come here for and like pay a bunch of money to go on a vacation and assuming there would be a park and there wasn't. And I think those people got a little disappointed for sure.
Yeah, I have been in that position before where I'll like pull up to a park that I'm so excited to ride, and there's like two rails with questionable lips, and I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna go home. Like, fuck it.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
oh, it's like late December, like there's barely a base on the mountain, at least like in a lot of Central European spots. So it's like,
Yeah. I mean, that was one thing too. Like the winter came a little late this year too. I mean, it was probably plus degrees like first days in December, so they were like having a hard time too
yeah.
to make snow and make it happen. But it's just, it is what it is, I guess.
Dude, did you
Not
have
the end of the world.
daily packed lunch growing up skiing? Like, did you have the
Oh
go?
yeah.
Yeah, what was yours? Because I remember
I
mine.
mean, I just like had like I just make like two cheese sandwiches and like hot chocolate that I brought.
Oh,
Or if I I was lucky. We had like some frozen mini pizzas called Billy's Pizza that Easy Panda loves. Every time he's in Sweden, he just get a ton of them. So like those were the jam when I was growing up. Like, I was like eating Billy's Pizza and just skiing every day.
Hell yeah. Dude, I would do, it was a baguette bread with viande de grison. I wouldn't even know how to say that in English, but like dried, like, boar meat, kind of, which was
Right.
super cheap. It was like the cheapest ham you get in a grocery store in Switzerland for some reason. No idea why. And then classic, like, Gruyere cheese, and that was the salmon. And then,
Nothing to drink.
no, bro, just water. I've been drinking water for years.
Yeah.
And coffee, obviously, but not on the
Yeah.
hill. And then when I finally got a driver's license, I started driving to France to ski. So I lived like 5 minutes from the border, and it's just cheaper there. So I'd go to this place called Avoria. I don't know if you've ever been there. It's in Port du Soleil. It's like,
Yeah, I've been there.
yeah, it's great. They have like 4 parks. It's like it was a 23 euro day pass when I was there, and more importantly, it's a village in the mountains with no cars. So they have to have all the infrastructure that you would have in a normal town, but like on the slopes, which meant there was like a supermarket. I could go there, buy literally like a 2 euro, you know, those microwavable pasta cups kind of things.
Yeah, noodle cup.
And they had a microwave there. Like, I was buying lunch for 2 euros at a ski resort. Pasta, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do that anymore. Or, I mean, you
So
can,
you can.
but
Yeah.
so, dude,
That's awesome.
what was your resort growing up? Like, where did it all start for you?
In Aura. So like I grew up in this in the town I'm still living. House I'm living in from my parents. So and this house is my dad's. So it's my grandmother's father who built this house.
Sick.
So he built it, and then he lived here until like the end of the 80s, and then my father bought it, and he and my mother lived here, and we grew up here, and then grandparents moved to another town, and they died 2015. So my
Proud to hear that, bro.
into yeah, that was all good. It's a long time ago, but he moved in house, and then I bought this house. So like we just like did like the generation shift like times 2 then, so or 3 in this house. So it's kind of sick. So yeah, so I'm still living here, and Ora has always been my home mountain, and but Järpen is my hometown. So I've been like skiing since really young. I don't really know when I started skiing, but I wasn't like never did like alpine or anything. I just like went skiing with my mom and my brother when I was young. And I mean, I remember when free skiing was like starting to become like a thing at like 99 or 98, 99, I think. Like I was in school and we were gonna go skiing, and there was someone that asked me if I had twin tip skis. Oh no, this was not 99. It was like probably like 01 or 2001. And someone in my class asked me if I had twin tips or carving skis, and I had no idea what he was talking about. So I told him like I got head skis. Because I was so clueless. And then like during that year, like I became so into skiing because it was like a contest here called Red Bull Big Air, and I went there and like was mind blowing of like how cool that sport was. I was like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. This is so sick. Figure out what the twin tips were, and got myself a pair for my birthday. And yeah, and then just start skiing as much as I possibly could.
Sick. Wait, what year was that Red Bull Big Air? Was it
I
2001?
think it was '01 or '02.
Do you remember who was in it? Like, was it? I guess was it mostly Swedish folks back then, or just
No,
international?
because that year was like it was Yoon was in it and Henrik Weinstedt and like there were like the gods growing up here. Like,
Yeah.
but then like remember it was '02 or yeah '02 it was two in the spring. It was like Red Bull Big Air again, and then it was Candide was here. It was like everyone was here, and Steel Spence and like all the cool guys was here, and I was like so mind blowing. And then like they kept running the event for years. Like Pep Puas came, and like it was crazy. Like because you only see these people in like the magazine or in the VHSs back then, and like to see them live was just like so mind blowing. Because like I never saw anyone in the park ever. Like that was where I didn't understand or I didn't look. It was like so much, but then like I got into it that year or the year after that, and then like I started to see all these guys that are like living around here. And like holy shit, it's like people that are just living in the same town as me. Is like what the fuck? He's so ill. Like Eric Strand. It was like such a sick. He was like called Little Desh Ducheno because he was looking like Mikael so much, and it was like everyone here was just that I was hung up with. We just like watch ski movies and talk about skiing all the time. And then like I obviously grew up here, and then but I was like not living in Oris. I didn't know all the like my age that was skiing like Henrik I knew because Henrik Harlow actually became friends like on because we both played hockey. So that's how we didn't go to the same school when we were kids because he lived 20 minutes in Åre and I lived in Järpen, so we went to opposite school, but we were playing the same hockey team. So that's like how I got to know him, and I remember it still because the only two people in the whole team that had stickers on our hockey helmets. And I remember he had like a Volcom sticker, and I had like the Osiris logo, and he was like, we recognize him, yeah, oh shit, like you like skateboarding or skiing? And then we start talking, it's like, oh shit. And yeah, and then know him since then.
That's funny. Were you guys both trying to rip like switch fives on skates or stuff like that?
No, I think we were like very into what we were doing. Like we were like really into hockey. I don't think maybe we did some like that, but we were like trying to. We were kind of small too when we grew up, so we're like trying to like impress like the try to become better at hockey or whatever. But I definitely think there were some switch trees and 360s going on the ice for sure.
Right on. So are you and him the same age then?
I'm 1 year older, yeah, but we like still played in the same team because it was like a mixed everyone. Like we weren't like a ton of people living here, so like usually there were some practices where we're both like the people that was born '90 or '91 was like training together or whatever.
Right on. So I guess
Yeah.
growing up there, like 2003 era, getting into skiing, are there a lot of big influences that are kind of living around you, like you mentioned, in skiing? And who are they? I don't know how close Yoon was or anyone else, but
I mean, Yoon was here. He lived here for a few years. Henrik Weinstedt is from Åre, so he was living there then and still lives here. And then it was Niklas Karlström, who is he was like super cool guy too. Uh, he he was like a mogul skier, so he went to like the mogul academy. That was he was a little bit older than me, so he went to like the academies when I was like 11, 12 or something. And I remember like he was probably so annoyed by me because I went every day, like on school, like knocked on his door and like asked 1,000 questions about like, how is this? Like, oh, whoa, do you have like the Oakley A-frames? Can I try them? And like, like we're being like such a little shithead, I think. But and yeah, but he was like the main guy for me. I thought he was like the illest back then, and then we had like Eric Strand, Super Six skier too. But there was like a ton of people living here around here that was like local legends kind of too. And then there was like Oscar Harlow, Oscar Sherlin was living here, Henrik. There was like Jesper. I remember like he lives in Östersund, so I saw him in the park too. So there's like a lot of like good, talented skiers in Åre, like all ages during that time. It was crazy.
Yeah, dude, I was gonna say, like when I hear Aura, I just think it's like Ruka 5 years prior. Like, everyone was fucked on skis like when they came out of there.
Yeah, and it's like too like funny too because like they had the Red Bull Big Air there for a while, like a few years, and then like they stopped doing that, and then June brought like the Invitational and the Super Session, so he was like a really good like force of bringing like the biggest name to Åre, and that I think made a lot of like people wanted to ski and like set the pace of what everyone wanted to become living here. Because I was talking that with a homie before now, like if you go to a rail event, like there's like whatever you go like in Åre, and they're so including everyone, like everyone should participate, even though like you're 7 or like I was 34 doing this rail jam. And like when I was growing up, I think I was sick that not invited, that everyone watched it, because that like made you want to become like something else. But now it's so including everything, like everyone should compete, everyone should have fun. But that's like you don't get to watch, you don't get the urge to like I want to become that, I want to be that, Instead, like you can go on a rail jam here and you can ski with Jesper Tjäder, like you can compete against him, and that could be like, yeah, I compete against Jesper Tjäder, even though he like smoked me or like I did it, like I wasn't able to, but I got to watch him compete or like do crazy trick or like kind of like more a show. And that was also like a thing in Åre when I grew up. There was so many different events just like that. That was like for older, but like there, it was just more like a show, a spectacle that you could watch and get influenced by just watching and like dreaming. Like I want to be a part of that. I want to be that person. And I think that is like something too that's kind of been forgotten too when it comes to contests and stuff like that. That by including everyone, like you don't make like it's hard to be like want to dream, like then you want to win the contest at some point, but that's like a huge step. Like it would kind of more make sense if you like be like I want to be in that, I want to be that, instead of like okay, I'm in the contest, but I don't want to be in it because I suck, or like you don't get that vision of like involving yourself or like growing or like follow your dream or what and all that shit.
Yeah, it's an interesting point. Like the open sessions are really cool because you ride with all your pros and all that, but you definitely need your own category where you can kind of get your steps and milestones in. I hadn't thought about it like that.
No, I mean it's cool, but all the content that happens around in Sweden, I feel like it's just like that. It's just for everyone. And then like Jesper obviously had like, but you like brought everyone like want to like this is a show, it's a contest, but it's just like it's for the crowd. It's not for determining who's the best. I mean it is, but it's also a show. It's like stuff happening on the course, after the course, in town, there's like so much that happens that like makes the culture and like something you want to become a part of, and not just like, oh, yeah, I was skiing today. It was a contest and I joined it, and then like I forgot about it. You know?
Yeah, for sure. And dude, I want to hear more about all the JOI and JOSS stuff. But before we get like, we're in 2003. You've
Yeah, I'm
20
jumping.
crazy. So like, at what point did you now start park skiing? Like, where did you start thinking to yourself, like, damn, this is really something I could, sink my teeth into and all that?
I mean, like once like the shark smells, like get the sense of blood in the water. I think it was just like that. And I didn't necessarily think to build a content or like a career out of it, but just I wanted to do this like more than ever. And like I skied so much all the time. Like I was still playing hockey at the time, and I remember like I've been thinking about that later too. But I was probably like 13 or 14 when like I had a coach from the hockey team. It was just like one of my friends' dad called me and asked me like I think it's time for you to choose like either hockey or skiing. I was like, why? Like what do I have to choose? Like I don't understand. Like, oh, like you have to show so like you're really good at hockey or whatever. Like I think it's important for you to do it. And then like I just like thought about that for I don't know, like a few months ago, how weird that must have been for my parents to like, oh, like someone calls the home phone and be like, oh, it's my your coach is calling and like telling me, and like my parents didn't care. Like they just wanted me to like do whatever. Like I was young. But he was like, oh, you have to choose. I didn't choose. I just like kept on doing both. But then when we were 16 here or 15, you have to choose what, like that's what he was talking about. You have to choose if you want to go to gymnasium, which is like the three or like from your 16 to 19 is that like kind of, I don't know what equivalent to, but
That in Switzerland, it's funny that you call it gymnasium because people confuse Sweden and Switzerland a lot, but we actually have the same high school system. It's like those years of high school that only serve to go to university, right?
yeah, exactly. And then like you can choose a career path there, like you can choose to be an engineer, or like you wanted to like become like a soccer player, ice hockey player, or even a skier. At that time you couldn't to a gymnasium for free skiing, but like there was like some local people here that like saw the talent of the people that was born from 89 to 91, and they didn't want, like they wanted us to pursue with skiing, and they like kind of made up like a gymnasium line for us to go that was called winter acrobatics, and it was like pretty much like told Wallish it was like a clown school plus like a ski school. So like half the time you were like doing circus, like John, like I don't know, like I had a JoJo at one time. I was like doing a show with, and like we were like, yeah, like doing a bunch of different stuff. But then we also had like in the winters we did like ski shows that were like jumping and through fire rings and all that shit. And they basically just did that just so we could do whatever we wanted to do on skis, which was really sick.
Dude,
And
that's nuts. Is that public high school? Yeah. Oh wait, I think the your audio cuts out sometimes on the AirPods. It could be maybe.
just
I don't
put them out, maybe.
Um, but wait, that's insane, dude. Shout out. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah,
Shout out like public school in Sweden, man. They really have their stuff together, Sweden as a country, but like that's kind of next level to be like, hey, you want to do like clown and ski school? Like send me.
yeah. It was, and yeah, so we, like a bunch of my friends that are still some of my best friends went there, and Henrik went there, Oscar Harlow went there, a bunch of good skiers went through. Simon Eriksson, Morten Grape went there too. There's like a ton of homies that went through that school, and uh, but I mean, it was so sick because we got to ski. I think we skied during this winter like like counting the weekends, we're probably skiing 5 days a week or something.
That's
So it's like school 2 days, and then like we just ski the rest. And there was like we didn't have any coach. They were like, yeah, just go out and ski. Like you have to do a season edit this year. That's just your main goal, and that was like it. And like just go out, have fun. Like it was so sick. And I mean, at that time too, because I was like saying like, should I go to hockey gymnasium or should I go to the ski? And then I was like, fuck, I gotta go with the skiing.
and you're at this point.
I was 15, 16 when I started, or yeah, turning 16 when I started. So yeah. And so I just choose that, and then we're just skiing, getting like very much like the people that I was in school with, everyone was so into skiing. We skied and filmed and just did that year after year. And then I think the last year, my third year, I entered the SuperUnknown contest, and that was crazy too because one of my friends, Claes Rockberg, he was the guy that filmed it, and we filmed it for the beginning of that season, and like had everything like, but he was filming on VH tape or like tapes, and the fucking tapes broke or something, so we couldn't use it. So I had to reshot everything in like a week, and I had broken my hand during the time. So if you watch that video, you can see me skiing with a cast because I just had to, because I was like so wanted to do the SuperUnknown so bad that year. And it wasn't like by any means like a good entry. I remember like that year was a ton of people. Tim McChesney did it, and Nick Martina I think did it too that year.
So wait, frame SuperUnknown at this point, because this is 2000 and what, like 7?
9.
Oh, 9. Okay.
Yeah.
So Wallish probably just won it 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Like, broke the internet. So what is SuperUnknown to you in Sweden at this point? And then
it was huge.
It was huge.
mean,
I think it was peak around 2009, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, there was like the cool, like, I mean, I definitely think like I remember like JD's Cat won it, and then Mike Clark won it, and but it was like kind of low key. But then like when Wallish entered it and won it, I think like it kind of blew up, and then Brogan after that, and like
yeah,
it was crazy because I remember I met Wallish the year after he won it because we went to Locks Open, and me, Henrik, Oscar, Harlow, Wallish were staying in the Riders Palace, and I remember Wally had, or if Henrik, I don't remember who had it, someone, or they dropped it at that time, and we watched the Brogan video, and it's like, holy shit, this is like
the lip twos to switch.
oh my god, just like the fucking ODB song to it.
Yeah.
Like freaking out. And then like at that point I was like, damn, I want to do 1-2 next year. Or was it the year after? I can't remember. But I did it, like I really wanted to do it, and then like I was so stoked for everything like we had been filming, and then like when we sat down in front of the computer and like it's just blank, like all the tapes just blank and corrupted, and I was like so bummed, and like I just broken my wrist, so I had to like reshot the whole thing, and it wasn't like anything I'm like not really stoked on it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, fuck yeah, just send it in and just see what happens. But then that year they did the Jaws event for the first time, and they had like a contest in the local ski park here. June hosted it. It was called Swedish Open, and like the top 3 competitors that 1, 2, and 3 got like an invite to JY. And that was the same night. Like, so we ski the contest during the day in the park, and then like the top 3 got invited to do the JY Big Air that night. And I ended up being one of the 3 people. It was me.
Hell yeah.
It was me, Fritjof Fredriksson,
Is he the guy who did the first ever Dub 7 at JY?
No, that was Frey. That was like a few years later. Fritjof was like a Norwegian skier. Uh, uh, and there was someone else. Fuck, was it Thomas Dølplads? Maybe like I can't remember. Shit, it was so long time ago. The only thing I remember that we won the contest in the park, and June had a helicopter there, and it's like, all right, you get a helicopter ride for free. So we all hopped into the helicopter, and like he took us all around the mountain, and then like he asked like, oh, do you guys want to be dropped off in like down like at the basement of the town on like the ice? And I was like, yeah, sure. And then, like they were just going in, and then like they were saying like, oh, but our bags are in the park, could you just drop us off there? And then like I already had packed my skis and myself out of the helicopter, and they're like, yeah, sure, we can drop you off there. And they're like, are you fine here? And I was like, I was so afraid, so I was like, yeah, I'm fine, but my bag was also in the park, so like I had to walk up like the whole town and take like a 2 shares and just go get my backpack because I was so afraid. But then like I got to do the contest that night, and that was like I had learned like a Switch Dub 10 that was kind of like in a little different axis than what people were doing at the time.
I was going to say, like, big shout out to you on the Switch Dub 10s, because I remember seeing it. Like, I got really into skiing around 2008, 2009. So I think it was this time. And, like, everyone's all like, oh, Henrik's got the orbital dubs. And I was like, I'm pretty sure you've been doing them for, like, since your SuperUnknown edits, even.
Yeah, I didn't do it in the SuperUnknown, but video, because I learned it, because I went to Andorra that year, like, before the Jaws event. I went to Andorra with Andreas Olofsson, who is like a great filmer from Sweden, and a homie called Blaze. And we went there for like a weird contest. It was like pretty sick. You got to film during the day. So it was a 24 contest. You ski during the day, edit during the night, and then like the night after they have like a premiere in the bar, and like they show all the videos, and we got second in that contest. But then like we stayed for another few days, and the park there in Andorra was so sick. I was like so mind blown. That was the first time I went to Andorra, and it was like the best park I ever seen in my whole life. At that time, that was probably also the second time I left Sweden. So I hadn't like seen that much either, but like it was so sick. And when we were there, I learned to switch double 10, the orbital one there, and then I went straight back home. And then it was like the Swedish Open, and I did it there. And then like I went to the JY event, and I did it there. But I think I hand dragged a little bit in the landing. It wasn't super clean. And I was like so bummed. And I remember, because I got even more bummed, because one of the judges called me afterwards. Like, he was like, holy shit, that was so sick. Like, if you wouldn't have put down your hand, you would have won. And I was like, fuck, why did you call me and say that? But he made it like in the most nicest way. He was like just giving props. And then like, yeah, it was the last night of the Jaws or JY event. So it was a big party. And I remember, because Henrik was in it with Lauren Favre that year. So I crashed in their room that they had. And then like the next morning we went to Max Burgers, which is like a famous burger place that everyone loves that comes to Sweden.
All the videos that came out.
Yeah, right. And then like I was sitting there with Henrik and Tom, and then Josh Berman came and said like, oh, I would like to talk to you later. So swing by our room. And I was like, oh, okay. Holy shit. Josh Berman. And then I walked down, and then he set me down. He was like saying like the trick I did yesterday was like so unique and cool, and then he said like, so like I know you didn't have like the best SuperUnknown, but I would like to invite you to to Mammoth and to the Super Unknown or the park shoot this year because you just won the Super Unknown. And I just couldn't understand it. And then Walsh being Walsh is like, yo, buddy, you just won Super Unknown. And it was just like, I was tripping at that time. I was like so fucking happy beyond, like I couldn't even explain it.
That's so sick. So wait, you won Super Unknown because Josh Berman saw you rip out that switched up 10 in Sweden and was like, you're the guy. Like,
Yeah, pretty much that.
six, you could have did anything. You could have just sent in a video of you throwing some thumbs up and probably still gotten it.
Yeah, but then like I did like a second video of having like like the shots from Andorra that we were filming, and we had like filmed a little bit more. So I did like a video that was just like showing like that tricks or whatever. Like a super unknown winning part, I think we called it, or something.
I saw that because the switched up 10 was in it.
Yeah, so we wanted to put that one in, so like, and like to kind of understand why, and like to kind of put in words what Berman explained to me there in Aura, in a video, kind of, but not say it, but just like add it in or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then after that, I was just like, all right, I guess I'm going to US, and just had to figure out like how do you do that with visa and all that shit.
So what year are we in now? This is 2000.
9.
Oh, and for anyone who doesn't know, can you explain what JOI is in a nutshell?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like the June Olsen Invitational is, I think it started out as first year was a 2-jump line, and then like it was like a jump to a wall ride, and then it kind of just became one big, massive, perfect table jump that June basically did that contest because he was a pioneer of doing double flips at that time and perfecting them. Some people had been doing them a little bit earlier, but he wanted to like have like a showcase for that and like build an event around that. And then it was just basically people taking skiing to 3 level higher than it was before during that event, and invited some of the best. Kind of like it was sick too, because he invited like the best jumpers. He invited, I mean, Ahmet was there, like, who is not like he was like the sickest skier, I think, but he wasn't like necessarily like the guy that was gonna throw like the crazy double flips. Like I remember he did like 540s, like biting his skis and shit. Just like people that were good showmen, like show people, like bringing like a big show to the town, and you know,
Open everywhere, no poles.
right?
It doesn't matter.
No, so like it was like the biggest event in big air event, I guess, like one of the top tiers one, I think, back at the time. Like people really want to go to Aura, just like partying and skiing that jump, I think. And like there was so much progression during those contests, and people are throwing all kinds of new tricks, and it was sick. It was great to just be like people in the crowd and to be in it, and I mean it was awesome.
That's sick. How's the party scene there too? Because if Yoon's already flying people around in helicopters at this, I'm sure he's on it.
It was so absurd. Like I mean, you got like this key around, like a Yoon key. It was like
with key.
yeah, it was like different colors. So like if you had the black key, like you could go in everywhere, and I mean, and that stuff evolved during the year too. Like first in the beginning, like you got the key and you got to go to the bar, like go in front of the bar and get like free drinks. But like in the end, you were getting like, you had like free taxis. You like got a cell phone that was like unlimited phone calls. You got like this voucher of Max Burgers for like 1,000 of kroners, so you can just go and eat there, and you were getting so much shit for free. It was like absurd. Like you were feeling like you truly made like everyone feel like fucking balls being there.
That's so sick.
Yeah.
Have any good like stories or memories from like those events? Just like gnarly stuff that went down or like anything
I
no.
don't know. I was like a little bit too young, or
Yes.
like not really into it. I mean, it was partying. It was like I heard a lot of shit, but I don't know if I want to talk about that really. I don't want to throw people under the bus, but people were partying crazy there.
You can keep names out, dude. I won't tell. We can
I
bleep
don't know.
too.
It's just like mostly like I don't know. It's just not good stories. But it was crazy stuff that happens for sure. That one I just like think is it was I mean, people were looking up like if you had a key, people like freaked out, like, oh my God, like that was like the jam. Like and it was so built up during the years too, because like first year was like, oh, I don't know, like but then like in the end, like people knew and like where like you could go into these VIP areas and all that stuff, and it was crazy.
That's
It
sick.
was it was nuts.
Like how
Fact is like when I was just gonna say that because after that event, the one I won Super, and I was just gonna backtrack to that because then like I got to go to the US, and that was like also crazy because I didn't have a cell phone that worked outside of Sweden, and I didn't have a laptop. So like I basically just like Perma sent me like fly out to Denver, like emailed me and like tell me like this is my house address and like this is where I live. And I was like, all right, I guess how big can Denver be? I don't know. So I just like hopped on a flight, left Sweden. Like it was the worst flight probably because I flew from like Stockholm or took the train from Åre to Stockholm, which is 8 hours, and then took a flight to from Stockholm to like London and to London to Seattle and then from Seattle to Denver. But the flight got delayed or something, so I had to spend the night in Seattle. And I had like no way to contact them because they were like thinking I'm gonna show up, and so then like I asked someone in like the information desk if I could borrow her computer to go in and send Josh email saying like, oh shit, my flight is delayed. I'm gonna be in at I don't know 2 p.m. tomorrow, and just press send. Went and slept on my ski bag. Woke up the next day, took the flight, got like through all like the airport, got to the pickup zone. I was like, and now what? Like, I don't. I don't even know what I'm gonna do, and I kind of like started like, holy shit, I need to find a computer again or something, and then I just heard a car honking, and then just Kyle Decker just pulls up and just like, yo, what's up? And just like being all all Decker, being so ADHD. And then like, yeah, he was like, where do you want to go? Like, this is the first time in America. It's the greatest country in the world. Like, where do you want to go? Do you want to go Taco Bell? It's like, sure, let's go Taco Bell because I never had that. So we went to Taco Bell, and then like we just like talked and talked and talked, and then he was like, "Oh, I have to take you to this shop," and he took me to like this tall tea shop. And we just bought like I think I bought like 10 tall teas at that point. It's like the
hell
biggest. I think I still have them. They're like so fucking big. I think they're 6XL or something. They go down to
hard
like
to find those in Europe. Like people don't realize like tall teas weren't that much of a thing here.
yeah, it was though, but it was so hard to get like a hands of them. I remember there was like a website from Germany that did them. So me and Henrik ordered like a ton of them, but like we wear them so much, like because we wear them like skiing in school. Like we wear them so much they were so worn out. So then I went to the US. I bought like 10 of pairs, and then like I didn't have that much money, so I like kind of blew half of my budget first day buying tall teas and Taco Bell.
Hell yeah.
But that was awesome. And then yeah, we went to we drove from Denver to Breck, picked up AD, which is also like I was so like shy and like so stoked to meet him for the first time. Adam Delorme, he was like a god too.
Yeah.
unbelievable to meet him, and like got to spend like drive with him and Decker throughout like the whole Nevada desert and into to Oregon, and then we went skiing in Alpine Meadows for a shoot.
Wait. You took a plane from Seattle to Denver to just drive back up to Oregon?
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, it was just like so absurd, but I don't know. I was just like so stoked on just like going, and it's like, all right, I'm going Denver, and then like I didn't even know where we were gonna go. I don't think I just like,
Let's go.
yeah, pretty much. They're like, all right, we gotta go filming there. I was like, all right, how far is that? It's pretty far. It's like, all right, cool. Yeah, so then we went to Oregon. We skied Alpine Meadows. It was sick, but then we went to Mammoth, and that was like, yeah, insane. They had like big ass park feature, and it was just a blast. And it was just all the cool people, like the coolest people you've seen from the movie was there, and it was. Then I kind of felt like this is so sick. This is like anything I could have ever dreamed of at that time.
Do you remember who you were the most like starstruck by? Because I guess you had met like Tom and Josh and whoever in Sweden before.
Yeah, I mean, DeLorme was like a big one. I met Hornbeck. I mean, Downey. It was like the list goes on. Like it was so. Rainwill was there too. It was. I mean, I met too. It was. I mean, everyone there. It was just like the level one crew, just being a part and just witness those people ski was for me just like, wow, this is like insane, and to be able to ski with them was just like so sick. Sivans was there too. I remember Tom and Sivan was fighting that one night too. Like it was so funny too. Like Wallish was like choking Sivan and Berman and stepping between and shit.
Or was it some super unknown beef or
Oh, it was just like partying, but I think Tom was like pouring beer and Sivan on Sivan, just like mucking with him. Like Walsh was like a bad man back then. It was just when he got drunk, he became crazy Wally.
hell yeah.
No, but that was like the trip of the life, like my lifetime. That was like everything you could ever dream of. Like perfect day skiing with like your childhood idols, and just in the biggest and coolest park that like Mammoth for me was like growing up watching all the videos, and it was just like so sick just to be able to be there and to ski. And I mean, the whole mountain was closed. It was just open, and the jump was just built for us. So it was insane.
I bet, dude. Wait, was Henrik there as well?
Henry was there too. Yeah. And
Okay,
B Dog too was there. Phil was there.
nice. Did they know
So
each?
many people there. It was like insane.
Oh, how's your English at this point too? Like,
It was horrible. I couldn't even talk. Like if you watch like Ante, who I went to Andorra with, he did like the like my super year like unknown video from that year with all the shots from those two shoots and a little bit more. And Decker like asked me stuff, and he's like, I couldn't even talk. I didn't really. I was so shy too because I was like, I don't know. And then they put me in front of a camera and asked me a bunch of questions. I was like, yes, no. My what is it like? They asked me like that. Like I think they asked me because at that point, like the Brogan thing was like, I like to meet new people. And then Kyle asked me like, do you like to meet new people? I was like, yeah, I like to meet new people. And then like he asked me, what's your favorite breakfast cereal? Because me and Henrik, like in Sweden, we only had like Kellogg's Frosties and like the boring classic.
yeah, not all that.
Then you go to the US and they had like all these crazy, and like I got really into Fruit Loops when I went there. So like we just ate so much Fruit Loops when we were there.
Dude, I'm Fruit Loops all day. Wait a second. Was that in Turbo or Refresh where Henrik smashing the Fruit Loops out of the huge bowl?
Yeah, that was just that Mammoth trip.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, hell yeah.
Yeah,
Dude, shout out Fruit Loops. Those are gas, just bowls full of sugar.
yeah, yeah. That was awesome. And yeah, to just experience that with like the homies and like, I don't know. Yeah, it was something else for sure.
So, dude, coming from Europe to the US for the first time, like, what are some of your biggest culture shocks that you experienced?
I don't know really. I don't know. I remember like taking pictures of like the aisles in the grocery stores, like there being just aisles and aisles of like all this fucking different fruit or like cereals and yeah, just everything is just it's just like 10 times more of everything in the US. I feel like the roads, I was like so mind blown of like all like the straight like big roads, and like in Sweden or Switzerland like all the roads are like so narrow and turny and like
Yeah,
curvy, and I don't know. So just like mainly that, uh just like how kind of similar, but everything is just like simpler and bigger.
that's funny. Dude, I think one of my biggest ones that I can remember is just the size of the cars. Like,
Yeah, true.
they're like double the size of European cars. I was like, what is this?
Yeah, you see like a RAV4 in Europe and be like, oh, it's kind of a big Toyota car, and then like you or like a Helix here, like a pickup truck, like the biggest one we have, and then like, oh, that's the small one here. Then you have the Tundra that's like double the size.
Dude, my car here could fit in a Tundra in the US. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, how I just would picture like how would you try to drive this thing in Europe? You wouldn't be able to park anywhere. You probably couldn't turn on most roads. You'd like hit a
No.
building or something, you know? Like,
And like yeah, the gas.
yeah, that was nuts, dude. That what are some other ones too? Like, definitely the size of grocery stores in some places, but also I thought the prices were like way more there. But maybe that's because I moved to a city and like that it was really hard to get like
When did you move there?
2015 was my first
Yeah,
time.
so like when I went there '08, like the dollar compared to the kroner that we have was like so low. Like I think it was $1 was 6 kroner, and now I think it's like almost $1 is like 10 kroner or something. So it's like hella more expensive now than it was back then.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. The same like for us going to Europe too. Before it was like the euro was like around like 9, but now it's like more like 12. So that's also like a big change. Like a €1 would be like 10, like around 9, I think back then. But now it's like more 12 kroner or something.
I don't know what's happening there. Like I work in the US, but like live in Europe. So I have all my
Yeah.
money in dollars. Right now it's like 1 to 1 with the euro. I'm so
Yeah.
stoked, but like confused, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And that was like the main thing too. Especially I've been going to the US a lot for the past, what is it now? Yeah. 15 years, 14 years or whatever. And that was like in the end, it was just like, well, like it's so expensive here now. Even though, but not really, but just because like the kroner was so low or high compared to the dollar or low.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. So,
Yeah.
I guess going back to the trip, you're now shooting in the like Mammoth Super Park shoot. How was that? Because I have a memory of like this era in skiing just being kind of like the final years of the absurdly huge park shoots where
Yeah.
features were like dangerously big, and there was this concept of like, let's just get everyone who's really good at stuff and put them on the biggest features we can build.
Yeah, pretty much was that.
Get that
Because
cheap.
that jump in Mammoth was massive, I remember. But it was like massive, but also so what the best jump I ever hit. Because they had like another like a step down there, and I hit it a few times, but like my knee was a little bit fucked during that time. So like I had to land like my right knee was I didn't know what happened at that time. I think I had like a crack in my meniscus or something. So I had to land like one foot, like left foot, right foot. So I landed everything left foot, a little bit left foot heavy. Because if I landed a little right foot heavy, my like knee would hurt so bad. Yeah, so that would kind of suck. But so I couldn't like hit like the or do tricks really on the big step up, step down jumps they had there. But
Yeah.
that step over jump on the backside of Mammoth, that was the huge one. That one was like so impact free because it kind of step over. So like when you once you land, like you just like it was perfect. So I like that one didn't hurt really, and landing forward really hurt, but landing switch was okay. In a
Yeah.
weird way.
Is this the one where it's the shoot with the French song in the movie? Like that jump, Walsh had like a green and yellow,
Yeah, yeah, it's that one.
had the Salomon set up.
Yeah,
Okay, I rewatched that earlier today. You did a Switch 12? Like you did the most gangster Switch like dub 10 ever. Like
yeah.
that era. And the Switch 0, super sick. And then Switch 12 where it's like you did Switch 10 and then barely screwed around. I just remember thinking like, wow, that looked really close to death, but
Yeah,
also looked so mellow at the same time. And you're telling
yeah.
me that with like a hole in your meniscus. It's
Yeah, but I think at least a crack in it. It was like fucked though, because I remember it hurt so bad, and I remember they had like a hip too there, and I couldn't hit the hip because it was like left side landing. So then like I don't or right side landing. I don't remember, but like I remember hip didn't work at all for the knee. So that was like the only thing that was like a bummer because I had like a sore knee at that time too. And I skied the whole season with that knee, like that sore knee, which kind of sucked a little bit. But then, like, I learned how to ski with it a little bit, and then, yeah, basically a few months later, I tore my ACL because it was so torn out, or like worn out, and I was like having this backyard rail in my a backyard setup at home, and I was just like doing like 270 on, and then just landed, and my ski landed, and my body like came. I don't know. I like under rotated a little bit, over rotated, and then I just heard like a snap, and I was like, oh shit.
No, you did your ACL in a backyard setup? That's a bummer.
Pretty much, but I think it was just so fucked from the season. Like
Yeah.
it's with a bad knee, and but that was like when I feel the pop really. But I ski all that year, and I like learned all like yeah, learned. I don't know if it was then, but I remember like then it like really like I heard like a crack or like something. But like I was so my knee was fucked that whole year. But that year I also learned like the switch dub 10, dub 12, switch 12. Well, I had done the switch 12 before, but then kangaroo flip I learned too. So I learned everything with like a fucking messed up knee.
That's nuts.
Yeah. But then yeah, came back home and then yeah, fucking snapped it or like checked it up and then like a lot like the ACL was off, like the MCL was partially torn, the MCL PCL was partially torn. I had like two cracks in my meniscus, so it's like all like fucked.
Two on? That's crazy.
No. That was just like when that was like I skied with that knee.
Oh,
It was
finally got it checked out. You're like,
yeah,
that's
that was like after the knee. But I heard like because after that I remember like oh that didn't sound good, and then I went to check it up, and then like they were like no, it's like everything is pretty much fucked here.
what were your feelings at that point? Because this was right when you got back from Mammoth.
Yeah. Or no, this was like maybe August or something. So this
Right,
is like
like
a
that
few months
summer
later.
after the spring shoot.
Yeah, exactly. because I went skiing in Norway too in Folgefonna with a Swedish film crew called Second Hands. It was like Swedish people I was filming with too. That was more Swedish based, like not like a little low key, but like a good gang and good friends. And I went to Norway with them too, and then came back after that. And after that was when like I got it checked up, and then it was so fucked. So then I did like surgery in September, and I remember the Jon Olsen Super Session was gonna be, and I was like, I want to ski the Jon Olsen Super Session, and that was 6 months exactly prior to my ACL surgery.
It was in February?
No, 6 months prior, so it's September.
Wait, so yeah, you got your surgery in September,
Yeah,
and that was 6 months before the super session?
yeah.
The super session was in, is my math right? March? No, it's March.
No, so like end of March or April or something.
January, February, March. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it was like 6 months. I remember like prior, like 6 months ish, like 6.5 maybe. I can't remember, but it was like pretty much 6 months. And they told me like ACL surgery rehab is 6 months. I was like, perfect. Then I'm gonna do that.
Was it six? Because I mean, I don't. Isn't the ACL surgery like 10?
Now it's like a year.
Yeah.
Back then it was 6 months. I swear to God.
But did science get worse? So I've heard 6 months.
But like, so like what they say is 6 months is like when it's fully healed, and then like you have to like adapt yourself, like train your muscles or whatever.
Sure.
But back then they told me like, yeah, it's 6 months. And then I was like, all right, 6 months it is. I've never been to a gym really at my whole before that. And then like started to like working out and just like doing like all the rehab and all that shit. But since it was 6 months, I figured then I skied there after 3. So I started skiing after 3 months.
You're joking, bro.
Oh, I did. And then I did send in like a video submission to the Jon Olsen Super Session, and I got invited throughout that too. So I like,
With your skiing on your 3-month-old ACL.
I was skiing, yeah. But
Man.
and then did the Jon Olsen Super Session 6 months after my surgery.
Damn, dude, that is ballsy. Hell yeah.
But I did not like that event. I'll tell you that, because that was like the filming too. And it was me, Henrik, and Oscar Sherlin was in like team Sweden.
Yeah,
And,
Sweden,
yeah,
best video of all time.
so bad. It was horrible. I wish we didn't do it. Like, I don't know. It was just, it was sick that Laurent wanted to do that, and like all props to him. But like when we watched that cut, I was like, ooh, like this is so hard. Like no one will get this reference at all. It's just like,
I remember getting it. Like,
yeah, but it's just like,
Kanye.
like all the other videos are like so like either like fire up and like
Yeah.
like pump, and then like this was like the video is kind of ending 3 times if you rewatch it, because it's like that, and then it fades out, and then we're like, oh, and then it starts again, and then like, oh, it fades out, and then it starts one more time.
Like Hollywood trailer, like finale.
Yeah, and it wasn't like the greatest, but it was a good time though. But I remember that 2 weeks, I think, or whatever, 10 days that was, and I was skiing every day and all night, and like filming street during the night and skiing the jumps during the day, and my knee was getting so sore and so fucking swollen too.
Yeah, that's insane that you did that with such a fresh ACL. Okay, so wait, take me back to the injury again real quick. Like at this time, who are your sponsors as well? Like how's your ski career going?
Well, like I think it was kind of weird because I was riding the G suit, which was a gift from Henrik to me. and Harry hated his old one. So I was just using that. And then I was on Faction for a little bit, but just on Flow. And then I remember my skis were so shitty. Like they were like, or they broke or something. Like I can't really remember. But then after the contest, when I won and got invited to the June Olsen Invitational, like I won the Swedish Open and got invited to the June Olsen Invitational contest. I like my skis were fucked. Like they were so beat, and I didn't have a spare pair, and I didn't really have a contract either. I was just on Flow. Like I got 2 pairs of skis from Faction. But then, like Solomon, like the guy from Solomon was in Aura, and it was like, well, like I can sign you right here, right now.
Sick.
And I was like, all right, sure. But then, like, so I got like a pair of skis, and then I had to borrow the Magic Solomon suit from Simon Eriksson because they didn't have one for me at the time. So I borrowed his and competed in his jacket and pants during the contest. And then when I won SuperUnknown, you got like back then you got like sponsor contract too that was involved in like you winning it.
You're joking, really?
Oh, so then I got on Gibberish, and that was also like a dream come true at that time too. Gibberish like insane
Mm-hmm.
and so big. And then I got on Spy Optics and Level Gloves. So that was like Solomon, Gibberish, Spy, and Level Gloves. I was writing for during that time, and did that. And but then so I was writing with all those sponsors too when I did the June Olsen Super Session contest. But then after that, like that's was my goal to do just that contest, because then like my knee was so sore and I didn't ski any more that year. I think I just cruised the park a little bit, but like I didn't go anywhere because like I couldn't, like I didn't want to go to like any park shoot. And that year was the iTrip year,
Mm-hmm.
so I was like asked if I wanted to come to Sun Valley and do that massive channel gap. I was like, no, that my knee can't do that. I'm sorry, I can't just not do that jump.
Yeah, that'd be such a long flight to go to as well.
Yeah, but I'll do it in a heartbeat if I was healthy. But
Yeah, of course.
yeah. So then I didn't ski that much that year. And then I think my contract might have run out.
Are you getting paid at this point by the sponsors too?
It's like a few $100 maybe.
Okay, because this was the years of like the big crazy contracts in skiing.
No, not yet. We weren't there yet, really. I don't think. No, this was 09, 010. I think like maybe 10, 11 were.
On target already at that point.
Yeah, true. Yeah, but that was like contests. Yeah, true. Some were probably getting really good pay at that point, actually.
Y'all was definitely making bank for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, some people were, but at that point, like I'm just talking about like the people that were skiing my level were like getting really paid. But
Yeah.
then I think I can't really remember, but then I think I might have. I think it was 11 or 12 because I switched to line skis after that, and Sweet Protection. I was riding Sweet Protection for 2 years too.
Nice. The outerwear or
Outerwear and helmets.
dude, I thought Sweet Protection had the dopest fucking gear ever. Who is it? Alexander Ardal? Was he Swedish?
In Norwegian, yeah.
Norwegian? Yeah, man, he had this like orange and purple
Yeah,
suit.
that one.
He was always
Yeah.
and it was like impossible to find, or it was like really expensive. It.
Yeah. To be honest, I was stoked being on it, but then like I was like, I don't know, this is probably not like there was not like a match for me, I was feeling. And
On it too at that point.
huh?
Walsh was on the team too at that point. Or was he already on North Face?
He was on it.
He wrote,
I think he might have just like done the transition.
yeah, because he was like Scott and Sweet Protection, and then moved on to North Face
Yeah.
because he was selling Scott. I don't know.
Yeah, he was. Amplid, but
Oh, and Amplit before, right? Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So then I wrote for that, but that year was kind of like too like knee wasn't feeling good. And I mean, and then like I didn't get like like I got like decent paid. It was like nothing. I still worked in the summers and stuff, but yeah. And then film, but it was like hard too, because like even though it was like really sick to film with level one, it was really tough because like usually like they did one or two or like 1 year like Euro trip a year, and then like they went to Finland and like they were like fully booked. But then like in the end, like we ended up doing a few trips to Sweden. And the level one videos was an awesome time to be in it, but it was hard for me to like find time and money to go travel the world and like go to the US. It was like kind of hectic back then to go, and I was still competing a little bit too. So it's like it was hard to match up the schedules really.
So, what is the behind the scenes of filming with Level One at that time? Like, how are the films put together? Because was this still the segments were per trip at that point, right? They weren't per person, or no,
They
no,
were,
no,
they were both, I guess, but like usually they still had like the personal segments
yeah.
till then.
How does that all work? Is it like Josh has different crews that he'll send out, or then collect shots, and like how does the money flow with like the films being sold? I've always wondered what the like behind the scenes were for how that movie always came out.
Yeah, I think they were working with the sponsors obviously for a few ones. So like maybe 1 year, say I don't know, level or line would go in and pay level one extra to make a video, like to make sure like that LJ would get like a full part or Will would get like a full part and all that stuff. But the thing I never like, I don't want to talk down because it was like the sickest thing, but to go on level one trips and that, but everything had to be divided by like the athletes too, like the gas and all this hotel costs and stuff. So it was kind of expensive. So, and then like, because we had travel budgets, but a travel budget for Europe is like not very big to go, like you burn it on a flight or like a few flights
Yeah.
easily. And you go there, film, you stay for like a few weeks and you go around traveling and stay in hotel night. Like it adds up really quick. So that was like the main part for me. It was like a little bit too expensive to go and film. But then like if I was here, I couldn't film with level one. So it's like so hard to balance that to make that balance happen really. So for me it kind of just ended up me going to like a few park shoots because then like everything was for free pretty much. You could go there and stay at the hotel for free and like you go ski for free. So like, and that was, I mean, it was what it was. Like some people had like better contracts and could do more and like were better skiers too and were able to do stuff too. Uh, but that was like kind of the part that some people were like not like having it really at the end. And Wally was like, I can't have like I don't know, Wallish something happened that Wallish made like start like left level one and like bunch of people left level one too. Phil and Hendrik left and then like a bunch of people left, and when Wallish left he started Good Company and he asked me if I wanted to be part of that instead, and then he said like if we go on a trip, like the hotels will be paid for, the gas will be paid for, like the only thing you have to pay for is your food. And like that was for
That-
me like,
yeah.
easy. I have to make that call, and like that's why I left level one after those years and started filming with good company. And even the last year, I think that was the last year I was filming with level one. But I think I'm not positive, but I think level one traded shots with 4x9, but I can't remember who they were trading because I had my shots in the Burn movie of 4x9 that year.
That happened too, because I saw your 4x9 segment. I was like, how did you get involved with this like Utah crew and filming street there?
Yeah, and that was like the thing too, because I went to Utah with Will Wesson and Andy Perry for like a traveling circus episode, and like the only person I really knew from before that lived in Utah was Wallish. But then like Wally, I think Wally just moved up to PC at that time, so he wasn't living in Salt Lake, and everyone else were living in Salt Lake. So I stayed with Will, and then I mean, people hang out and go parties and shit, and I started hanging out with Tim McChesney a bunch, and like we became really, really good friends. And then like the next time I went to the US, I just crashed at Tim's and John Ware's house, and John was living there with his girlfriend Jordan too. So like I started living in their basement when I was in the US, and then like those two were so involved in the 4x9, and were like 4x9 crew guys were like coming and going, and like everyone was kind of living on the same street in Sugar House. So like I became good friends with everyone, and that's how like because I was filming with Tim too or like knew Tim before too, I guess, with Wallish, because Wallish did that Wallish project year, and then it came to Sweden, and I was skiing with them here, and that's kind of how we became even better friends. And then like after that, I started hanging with Tim a bunch, and lived with him, and then like yeah, both him, Wally, and I left level one, and then Wally wanted to start his own shit and start good company, and that was the story of it actually, how we made the change.
That's interesting. I actually always wondered like how Good Company came about, because it always seemed like kind of 4x9 turned into Good Company from like the outside looking in, but
Yeah, exactly. But Wallace wanted to like Wally fully owned the rights for Good Company, and that was like an issue too. That like when he was filming with Level One owned like the footage of him, and he wanted to own his own footage. And 4x9 was being owned by Napier and AJ and Tuna eventually, and he wanted to have something own, and then he hired Decker and AJ and Napier in the beginning to start the Good Company to produce his own shit, basically.
gotcha. Okay, sick. So then what was your, I guess going through all the like level one shoots, what was your last movie? Was it Partly Cloudy?
Uh, yeah, I think so. Partly Cloudy, or I don't know, not sure if I'm in less or not. But I think too that one. I think my 1 year, like the shots I had was like in the credits, and I was like, ah, fuck. Then I was like bummed too.
Oh no. Did you
Yeah,
find out in the movie, like did you find that out at the
yeah. Never went to a level one premiere since it was in the US.
right? Yeah. So you just how yeah, get a DVD shipped to you or something? And you're like, damn.
Yeah, pretty much. But like you got like the iTunes code, you can watch it on
Oh yeah.
iTunes, yeah. So yeah, and then yeah, Tom had like a vision with Good Company. He wanted like to produce series, like shorter video or webisodes. That was first in the beginning. I think it was like behind a paywall, but then like it took it away because it was not really working. And wasn't really necessary, I don't think either. So, and then he just started to produce a few movies, and that was like hella fun. Just like though that crew, because that was too with level one. I mean, it's so much easier to ski with people like you ski similar or like you like to like that you're familiar with. But like with level one, I could go on trips with people I barely knew or like didn't ski as at all or and stuff like that. So that was like hard too for me. But it was like fun too because you got to learn to like. I mean, it was sick that you got to ski with people that you weren't familiar with or like had different skiing. But then like when you filmed with good company, it was just like this. Like I love the way like John Ware is skiing. I love what Wallish is doing. I love what DT is doing, and like you can feed off each other so much easier when you have like that kind of crew and like you're working towards something together as a group. Level one kind of like I never really you cannot work with your own segment with level one, and for me it was hard since I couldn't film with them really because they live on the other side of the world.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet that.
So yeah, so then like when with good company too, I just like spent months and months in the US. Thanks like Steph and Wally for like letting me crash in their guest room for that many years. It was insane, but it was so funny. It was something else, and I'm so glad and thankful that I was able to be a part of that because that was something really really cool, and we got to travel and go to so many different places that because usually skiing just had to take me before, and I was just you went on a like urban trip somewhere in here, but when when we were talking in the beginning when you got to the US, what was like your main impressions? But then because then when we were with or with good company, we were like driving like throughout like the whole country. Like at one point we drove from Salt Lake all the way up to Edmonton, and one trip we drove all the way from Salt Lake to Boston, and like got to see so much of the US and like stuff that you never get to see on a ski trip. And that was like something I really really will never forget, like just driving through like miles and like just flats and then coming to a city. And just remember this one town we pulled in and we just had like that weird like a weird smell in it, and we were like what is it, like it smells kind of weird, but it's everywhere. And then like we find out like this is like a meat producing town. It was just like a big factory with just like a meat factory, and it was just smelling so much in the whole fucking town. It was gnarly.
Yeah, dude, it's a good one to mention actually. Like I just drove home to Geneva, Switzerland from Innsbruck.
Mhm.
6 7 hour drive. I went through like so many mountains and towns and like different cities and obviously like countries like Liechtenstein, like
Yeah.
like all these random places. And I think back to the US and it's like I've definitely driven 6 hours with like nothing, especially
Yeah.
that middle part there, like Nebraska, because I've done the east to west a few times as well. Bro, like I was living in Salt Lake and New York, and I'd kind of like go like zoom back and forth, and bro,
Word.
it's crazy. You're right, like how different it is to drive because you'll go from like beautiful desert and like all this dope scenery to like nothing. Then
Right.
Chicago, hello, or like whatever big city.
Yeah, and then like same too. Like you drive like the drive you did. You go through like three or four different countries in 6 hours, and in the U and like you can go through like you can do like a 10 hour drive in the Europe, and you can have like go through countries that they speak like five different languages. And then like you go to the US and you drive 40 hours straight and they like speak the same language, and it's just like you haven't like you moved a lot, but like you haven't like even made coast to coast really.
Yeah, dude. I mean, fuck, have you had those conversations with some folks in the US where they're like, the US is so diverse, so much more diverse than Europe, and I'm just like, okay, let's this beer is pretty good, huh? Just
Great.
not get into this.
Yeah.
That's sick. It's cool that Good Company was such a good experience. Like I had no idea that it was like such a shift from kind of level one. Because again, like consumer side, I'm just seeing like ski clips, right? And like it's
The
interesting.
end of the day, that was what it was. And I do think all the movies that Level 1 still produced were like the sickest. But for me, it was just like it didn't really work out the way I hoped to. But like in the end too, like I understand why, because like it was a little bit I lived on the wrong side of the world. Which is fine. And then like I got to go to like a few trips around here when they were here, which was like awesome too, to show like people that wasn't from here, like Sweden. And I remember one time we drove all the way up to Kiruna with Decker and Will and uh what's his name? Tim Lloyd was with us too. And Sigbjörn Tveit was there too, and it was just awesome to just do that drive and just they got to see the polar or what's this called, like the everyone loves it, the
The the lights, Northern Lights.
Northern Lights. Yeah, they were so hyped on it, and like you get to see it every night, pretty much living here. So it's just like, yep, there they are again.
Turn them off. I'm trying to sleep.
Right? No, but that was like those trips were awesome and cool too. And I mean, and it was sick. So like as I told you, Kyle Decker was the person that picked me up first time when I got to the US, and I talked to him probably like once a month or something in like some way for like text or calls, and it's like he's a very good friend of mine, and
Sick.
he is yeah. I just like so happy that I've been able to do so much with people that I didn't even know that I was gonna meet growing up, like and become friends with. I mean, Wally too, and yeah, Tim and those guys are like I consider them some of my best friends. AJ and I mean, those time on the roads with them, it's just like definitely like it's something that I never forget. It was so sick.
Nice. Would you say that's kind of like the highlight of your ski career?
Yeah, in one way, yeah. I don't think I would never experience that again with those type of people, same age and like have the same vibe and yeah. Yeah, I think that was probably like when I was the most happy, at least where like where everything where I was at and how it turned out, kind of in that way.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess to like draw a close on the level one chapter, like what was your favorite shot that you got in any level one movie? Or shot that didn't even make it, maybe.
I think that uh, I had like a shot. It might not be the favorite, but it's like a gnarly spot. It was still like Wallace, me, and Tim hit it. It was a elevated quad kink with a closeout that was in Stockholm. That was like looking at it now, it's like really, really, it's like kind of gnarly still because like I mean, you could fucking. It was concrete stairs. It was up elevated. I think once you got like on the first down, it was probably 4.5 meters down to flat.
Oh, after the closeout?
No, like once you got onto the first down, it was like really high up.
Oh. Oh,
So,
wow.
so
Yeah, that's a lot.
yeah, so it was like real. That was kind of gnarly, and there was like not that much snow, so we like threw a little bit of snow on the ground, and then like if you made the whole quad kink to the close side had like a little. It was like a flower box in concrete after it too that you had to clear. That was probably like a meter, 2 meter, like meter and a half or something. So that rail was like, and I did like that, slid it the front tooth out, which is like not a crazy trick, but it was just like that one. That was a gnarly one. That like first, like it looks very scenic because it has a shopping mall, and it's like all dark, and you can see like the sign of the shopping mall just light up the in the dark above the rail. But that rail is like pretty sketchy actually. So I, like that was one of my favorite level one shot, I think.
Hell yeah. What movie is it in?
I don't know.
I'll find it. See,
Yeah,
good opportunity to rewatch them.
yeah.
Dude, rewind real quick. Joss Jo Super Sessions.
Mhm.
So correct me if I'm wrong. There's like JOI that, and then I guess for 2009, 2010, it became JO Super Sessions.
So I think it was like the one I when I won the Swedish Open, they had like or during every Jaws, like June Olsen Super Session, they also had like the June Olsen Invitational during that
Oh,
week or 10 days. So they even like they always had that big air contest during, even though it was a film contest plus a big air, or before it was just like the big air thing.
yeah.
That was how it was. So the first year when I won it, like it was during the Jaws event, but the JY event was during that, and that was when Henrik and Laurent Favre were doing like Team Europe video for the first Jaws.
Okay, and then
And Simon and Wallish did that classic Team America.
oh wait, they did right. There was a Team Europe, but there was also country-specific teams now.
Yeah, because I think Yoon and or I think Laurent Favre, he he was supposed to do it with someone like Team France, but he got hurt, and then like they put in Henrik with him instead or something. I can't really remember. So they like just named those like that group Team Europe, but then it was like Team America, Team
Yeah,
Down Under.
and it was pairs.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then the second year they made it trios.
exactly.
That was
And
a
then
year.
like yeah, and then like New Schooler had one too that you could vote, and
Yeah,
then like
got-
Walker, Guts, and LJ went for that one. But then I don't think they did it after. Then he just like went back to do like the single event, like the June Olsen Invitational.
yeah. I don't remember any. It's a shame because those videos are now in ski history, as far as
Yeah.
I'm like.
The pro and all those videos.
Yeah, dude, it's so epic. Like the Canada one, the Jesus like after bang thing that Wally did. Like
Yeah.
there's so many moments. Yeah, and I remember even in the Team Sweden one, Henrik did that like weird dub 10 axis.
Yeah.
Never seen that before. I was like, still to this day, like it holds up. Or like his dub 12 blunt was like ridiculous.
Insane. Yeah, he's been a very talented skier for a very long time.
Yeah, no, you guys all, it was sick to see the Team Sweden too, because who's the third person with you guys? Because it was you and Henrik with like the super like gangster style. And then,
Oscar Sherlin.
huh?
Oscar Sherlin.
Oscar Sherlin.
Yeah. He was the third one. He was Red Bull head. He was like mini June back then.
Yeah. What happened?
Great.
I don't think I heard of him after those videos.
He kept on competing. I think he quit maybe 15 or not quit competing. He was in Teddy Bear Crisis when he was young too. He was like young prodigy from Ora 2 that was like super good, talented. He won a bunch of contests. He won like there was like a few contests in Europe before. I think it was so 8 or something that he won like back to back. He won Play Street, Red Bull Play Street.
Yeah.
Then he won like a head to head contest, and I think he and on Rebel Place Street that year was first prize was a car, so he won a car. And then contest after was also a car win, and that was a head-to-head. And I think, if I remember the story correctly, everyone fell against him in the head-to-head. So he ended up winning 2 cars in like 2 weeks or something.
That's sick. Do you know what cars he won?
It was like Suzuki Vitara or whatever, like a small Suzuki, but still, it's like pretty sick. I don't think no one has done that in skiing
Yeah,
since that. We even won a car.
he still win cars. I don't.
No, but he was like a good, talented skier, and he was on Red Bull head. He was like on like pretty much what Yoon had for outerwear. He had too. It's like on Cross and Oakley before that.
Yeah.
But then he started filming with the Legs of Steel guys a little bit. Patty Graham is a good friend of him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I think he just like, I don't know. Grew tired of it a little bit.
I guess so.
Yeah. I don't know.
Sick. So, dude, what are your memories from like those video series? Like any good behind the scenes stuff that would add some color to that second year? Because that's when Team Canada won, right? Like with the did they win with the voleurs cut?
Who won?
I think it was Team Canada, right?
Yeah, it was when the pan,
Yeah.
when they had like the pan and shit.
Yeah, dude, Chuck's just like naked on the couch for some reason.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, true. Yeah. Shit, I can't even remember. I haven't thought about those days for a long time, but no, I think we have to something maybe that more fresh. This is like what now?
I,
16 years ago.
that's kind of crazy. Damn it. I remember these coming out and like all the
Yeah.
didn't feel that
Yeah.
long, but whatever.
Yeah, that's like the thing with skiing now for me. Like I still love it. I don't think like last year, like I quit because I was coaching for the Swedish national team I was working with them for 8 years.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like what transitioned or transitioned over to like after like I was filming with good company and that stuff, like I started coaching a little bit. And I was on the national team too for I was said before I was doing a little bit more contest in the beginning.
Yeah.
Then like I dropped out. I couldn't handle it. Like I would go into World Cups in the beginning and it was 150 people starting with like 6 heat or something. It was like insane. It was so much people.
Yeah, like what was your experience with the whole competing scene? So I want to ask you about that too. I feel I've always seen you in like films and like gotten to know that side, but I don't remember the competition scene all too.
No, I mean I wasn't really any good at competition. I knew I had like the tricks, but like I was, like if I wasn't if I wasn't skiing, I was trying to film like street or like be in the streets filming street clips or whatever, or being like sore or whatever. But mostly like it was hard to keep up during that time because like if I went to a contest and then like I went from a contest to film, like everyone else went to the like terrain park and practice like just their comp runs all the like a lot, and like I didn't really like practicing that much. So it was just hard to keep up, and everyone at that time became so good so quick.
What year is this?
I mean, '09 to 14.
Okay.
Like it elevated so quickly from like, I mean, like grab combination, left and right doubles, and I don't know, but I like did everything. I did all of those tricks, but I was just like, I remember I was a copper for a World Cup, and it was just like piss cold. There was 150 people competing, and I was like, fuck this. Honestly, like, this sucks. So then, like, I actually just, because there was a World Cup in BRÄCKED the week after, and then like Tim hit me up or something and said like, I'm going with Will Berman to Minnesota. Do you want to join? So I was like, yeah, I'm coming. I'm leaving. So then I left, and I left the national team and everything, because it was just like, it was so absurd, because I've been traveling at this point for 6 years by myself, buying tickets and hotels, and it was like always, you always had to do it like the cheap way. You know, you don't stay at hotels, you stay at homies, you sleep on your ski bag at the airport and all that shit. And then all of a sudden you hop on a team, and it's like you go on a trip, and it's just like, yeah, it costs 30 or like 3,000 euros. Like, for what? Like, we were there for a week. Like 30 G, or like 3 grand would like last me like a month on a road filming for
Yeah.
like easily. like a season pretty much. So then I was like, I can't do it. Like, this is too expensive. This is like absurd. I don't like it. And I just left. And I didn't think about it more, really, about like the contest scene. I kind of just like, fuck, I just want to like film then and just go on fun trips and have fun. But I was still like having this every summer since like 2010. Me and Henrik Weinstedt and David Cantermo is a Swedish skier too. We had like, when Sigbjörn was there, and Klaus Finnen, Norwegian guy, we had like a summer camp in Norway at a glacier. So I was coaching. Like, I feel like I've coached like during those like camp weeks. I coached like all the people that's on the national team now for Norway and Sweden, pretty much. So like, I knew a lot of those people like since they were like 10. And then like I got asked by the Swedish Federation like 16 if I wanted to like help out with coaching a little bit. And I was like, first I was like, nope, I absolutely don't want to be a part of that. But then I was like thinking like, fuck, maybe it's like good to have someone that's been doing contests before and had like seen a lot of where free skiing, just to have like that same mentality of where free skiing was about, and how we kind of should keep it like that. And then I just kind of like slowly started to coach, and then like it was kind of fun. It was fun. Like, I got to hang with Henrik still, and like Jasper and all those guys, and got to learn like to know Hugo and Emil and like all those good young hungry competitives from Sweden, and help them with their career, and kind of like tell them like the do's and don'ts and whatever. And it was fun. And but it's like I got so involved in it, and like after the Olympics in South Korea, I became like the head coach of Sweden. So I was the head coach when we were in China, and that went super well. Like, Henrik got like his first. Henrik and Jesper got like third lucky charm, third lucky charm or whatever. Like, they were their third Olympics, and they both got their medals. So it was sick to be a part of that. I don't take any credit of anything of what they did, but it was just like fun to be able to, like just help themselves to become better, and like just try to like make life a little bit easier with like flights and stuff. And then like the experience I had was fucking super expensive. So trying to look at the budget we had, try to divide it out. Like, how can we make everyone like fuck staying in hotels? Like, let's do Airbnbs instead, so everyone don't have to pay for accommodation. And I try to lower everyone's like fees that was like on the B team on flight, to like make it a little bit more manageable, and so you can like survive a ski season, because it's so intense and it's so expensive to do these contests and all the training camps, and like the fees are like insane. So that was like what my goal was. And after the Olympics, Henrik took 2 year out, and he was supposed to come back this year, but he got hurt. So
Is he right now?
he's hurt. Yeah,
Oh no, what happened?
he fell on the airbag and like fucked up, it, like dislocated his hip.
I know,
On an airbag. Yeah.
you're joking. That's
No. Yeah, but he like after the Olympic, he took like 2 years break from the World Cup, obviously, because it's like it's so much competing all the time, and like he is, even though like he is the best, he is. It takes too much of his time. Like he has so much other visions and wants to do other stuff. And last year, Jesper also took like a kind of big break from competing in the World Cup too.
Mhm.
And I was like feeling I like fuck, like skiing was becoming so much like, I don't know, it was just like so much work all the time. It was just like, because I was by myself pretty much, not in the end, but like a lot of time working with the federation. It was just like me that I was booking, scheduling, talking, like coaching, just doing everything by myself. I started to do video vlogs for Sweden, and I cut them as quick as I could after the. So I filmed all the contests, filmed all everything. Got home after like the contest was done, edited it, and put it out the same night. It's like just like doing so much. And I think I got a little burnout from doing it, but it also got me to show like shit, like maybe it's time for me to do like something new, like something else. Because I'm like, I didn't have like any fucking energy when I got back home to like be a good boyfriend or to fucking even like wanted to leave my bed, like I was so tired and I didn't want to like go skiing that much. But after actually the Olympics, in in Beijing, Henrik asked me if I wanted to go to he, because he was like he was told me like oh fuck, let's start over. Like Henrik told me after the Olympics that he was gonna finish the season, like the whole World Cup season. But then after Olympics, you're so drained. Like there's so much, like especially like you take a medal, like it's so much interviews and like there's like basically 4 years of anxiety, whatever, like just leaving your body in like in a good way or in a bad way. Now it was like in a good way. And for Henrik had that, and Jesper, like they've been trying to get like a medal at the Olympics for like, yeah, like since the first one at 14. But this is like 10 years later, and like every time like the one in South Korea, like they got so much bad press saying like, oh, like they don't like they, because Henrik like had won like the everything that year, and then went to the Olympics and they didn't even qualify to the final, and like the media in Sweden were hating so much like on Henrik, and that took a big toll on him. And like, but it also like started a fire in him, and same with Jesper too, because he got heated. Like some reporter wrote like some mean ass things, and I think they like wanted to prove for ever like I could do this. It's not like fucking I still got it, and they both went there and got it. And Oliver, another guy, he got fourth at the Olympics too, which is good, really good too. Henrik bumped him out.
I remember that. Yeah. It was like Sweden still got a medal. Like they're there.
Yeah. So that was like also like everyone did like a great Olympics. Hugo like had like a made it to the Olympics, and he had like to qualify in because it was so tight, because we did like the person that had like the best results or whatever, like that he gets to go, and he was fighting all the way until like the last World Cup. So like his like you know, like he just ran a marathon to just do another one, like straight away. So, and that's like something I learned too, that like that's not like ideal if you want to go to the Olympics. It's not like have anyone like have to race, qualify, and like compete like with other ones in the team. And that kind of also like made everything too that like so clear that like we're on, even though like I try to keep it like as our group like cool and friendly and awesome. It was just so hard because at the end, like fuck, we're competing so like at the end, it was just like basically Hugo against a guy called Isaac, and they were like fighting over the last spot because Henrik and Oliver and Jesper was already qualified through their points and whatever.
This
And
is
that's like, what's up?
this is for the Swedish team.
This is for the Swedish team, and then everyone competing with other teams to also do like the same thing, and it's like it gets so competitive, and it's just like not that fun anymore. It's just like so you against me, and like Sweden against America, and like you know, and I mean competition has always been like that, but now at this point, I just felt like this is something that wasn't really. It just it just evolved to that. Like either that we wanted it or not. And I think the Olympics, like Henrik taking a break and telling me after the Olympics, I was like, I can't finish the season with the World Cup. I don't want to compete more this season. And I said like, yeah, that's cool. And he's like, I'm going to Finland. And I was like, can I join? So I joined and ended up going to Finland in between the two last World Cups with Henrik and the Harlow Apparel gang, and then went back. So we were in France for the second to last World Cup, and Henrik was just like, I don't want to do this contest," and I said it's fine. And then we just rebooked our flights, went to Finland, and everyone else went home. And I went to Henrik to Finland and meet up with Stogan and Isipanda and the Omis, and we're filming for a week, and then went back to the World Cup for the last World Cup for the season to wrap it up. And then I had to go home and do the Swedish nationals, and then I was like, "Fuck!" It was so fun in Finland, and then like I knew they were still there, so I went there for another week, and that was the It's That movie that came out 2 years ago.
So, Salute.
No, It's That.
Oh, it's that the movie. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So that was like all the shot like was from like me skiing pretty much 10 days in Finland. So that was awesome. And then like that kind of sparked something in me that's like, fuck, this was what it was in the beginning for me. This was what I loved to do. Like I never really liked competing that much. I mean, I think it's fun once in a while, but like at that level and the stakes that I have to be like, you can go to this contest, sorry, you cannot, or like the nation quota, like, yeah, Sweden can only have like 4 athletes in the World Cup this year because some like they didn't do that good result last year and blah blah blah. And it's just like in one way it just like gets a little too much because there's so many people that could be in a World Cup, but just because you're American or Canadian or from Switzerland or Sweden or Norway that have like good like too good of athletes, like you won't get a chance, which is kind of like not that sick for me. And that system is nothing I don't think the FIS want to change at all. So with that said, and like Henrik and Jesper taking a little break, I had done like a street trip. I was like, fuck, I need to find a love for skiing again, like I had that year. And then like I started to ski like way more and like try not to just do like less a little bit with the team. Like don't try to do 16-hour days, try to do like at least I mean, call it good at 8, you know?
It's jeez.
Yeah. And then I just started to ski more because I said like to myself like I need this. Otherwise, like I mean, then I like won't like skiing anymore, and I love skiing still. So then, like last year, I started skiing a bunch. I went to a bunch trip with Jesper on his project, which was insane to watch.
One that just came out, like on
Yeah,
the VHS style. Yeah, that was sick. So good.
yeah. I had like a little shot in that video, which was
All
dope.
that.
Yeah. So like went on a few trips with Jesper, and it was awesome. And skied like for myself in the park more, and try to go, just have fun with it again. And last year, I think like I'd never skied as good as I have ever, and I'm 34. I like did all the doubles I ever had done last year, and felt good. Felt good on my skis again. And when spring came about, I knew I had a 4-year contract with the Ski Federation, but I had like a thing in the contract that said like if after 2 years we can renegotiate the contract. And so I did, and I said I quit. I didn't want to do it anymore. I just like, I think it's also like a time where like once you get to that point and feel like you have to start to be like your job is becoming more and more like eating up who you are and what you want to do, and you're not like the best person to be around because you're just tired all the time, then I think it's time to change. Decker texted me and told me like I AOB, who is a photographer in the US, he told me once like you will never quit, or you will never regret quitting a job. Because like sometimes you like your classic thing, you need to close one door for another door to open. And so I did that with not a plan or anything. And more than that, I just want to enjoy life more and not be traveling and not be gone. And let's see, in 3 days from now, I will become a father. So that's kind of cool.
Dude, really?
Yeah, so I just like fully switched the switch and just like, yeah, got myself 7 to 4 work as a carpenter with a homie that's from my hotel or from the town I live in. So that's what I do now, and try to ski as much as I can, and we'll see what happens. But I'm just want to focus on like the family, my soon-to-be family, at least my girlfriend, and yeah, what I like to do, and more on me and less on others, kind of thing.
Hell yeah, dude. Wait, do you know if it's a boy or a girl?
Little girl.
Girl. Dude, get her on
Yeah,
ASAP.
yeah.
Start coaching her real quick.
She
Pro
can
boat.
do what?
No, that's sick, dude. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, it's could happen any second now, but hopefully it stays in until 3 more days. Then we're good.
What's today? January 6th.
6th, that's January 9th.
That goes, dude. I think the furthest after Christmas, the better. Mine is January 21st, and I'm very thankful for that.
Right.
But we just did the podcast before with, Kura from Finland.
Sure.
So his birthday is on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Kind of rough. So it feels like the further you are from Christmas, the better for your birthday.
Yeah. True. And you also want to be like, yeah, in life, I think in general, like if you could be a same age as someone, but you're like pretty much a year older.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, it's a good
So we
one.
got back Q1, I think they call it, when they're like early, like the first quarter.
Yeah. I bet. Dude,
Yeah.
that's a crazy story with the Ski Federation as well. I feel you went through like the whole history of your experience, like with all the athletes, and it's interesting hearing that side of things too, where I think it sounds just like the nationalization of the sport through World Cups and like having spots just made it like real funky for a lot of people and like killed a lot of the vibe that I think folks were into.
This is just like also too like as I told you, like when I got to travel and like see all my idols going around now, like it's not. I'm sure that's a little bit that vibe, but I actually got to stay or hang or talk. But there's like really no one talking over like the barriers of teams.
Really?
I mean, there is, but like, I mean, when I was like the last year I did now, like coaching, I remember like when we were in Mammoth, we were just like chilling at home, and I was like, damn, wonder what V is doing. Valentin Morel, at
Yeah.
home, mine, little bro, and I just went over to the Swiss house and like hung out with him, and then like just like because we were making little edits last year when we were traveling, and we called them Word Up instead of World Cup, like a little,
Oh, yeah.
and you know, like just hung out there, and Andre was there, and start talking to him, and just like how he sees skiing and his like how focused he is, and you know, like just sit down and talk, and like had a great conversation with Andre, and like had a ton great conversation with him, or same thing I talk with A Hall, or like whatever, whoever it is, Kura for sure I talked to, and like it's just like so nice because I want to talk to people and like get to know like the question Kyle asked me when I first came to the US, like I like to meet new people, like Brogan said, like that's what I do, and like I'm such a fan of skiing and like the people that's in it. So for me it was like so sick to like have that video camera like doing the Swedish vlog, because like it makes me like it's so easy to just like talk and goof around and just like because it is fun on a World Cup too. There's like, don't get me wrong that no one talks, but it's just like before like I go on a contest and be like, yo, were you, like you going, or like I was gonna like I remember we went to Hintertux in Austria.
Down the road.
Yeah, when like way back, and I remember like I went there with Matt Walker. I was living with him, and Jess or Jacob Wester was there, and we just like a bunch of different people. But we're like, okay, you go in there. Like, let's get our apartment together. Like, let's lower the cost. And nowadays it's just like, or like I told you, like I always slept on the airports before, and like now if you go with a team, be like, oh, like we need to check in on a hotel. Like, I need to sleep in a hotel, and be like, okay, okay. I mean, I don't care, but like
Yeah.
I have done my fair share of airport sleeping. But it's just like that vibe that skiing was to me is like kind of gone a little bit due to the federation also having like a bit more money and paying for a few, but like if you're not good enough, you're out, and you're like, all right, what do I do now? And that is like a little bit harsher, I think, in these days, where like you because you don't have like a lot of people doesn't have like this, like good people doesn't have like sponsors even to rely on, and I think that's very very hard to do something to
Yeah,
stick out.
for sure. I was with some Norwegian friends at Stubai. They
Yeah,
it was a Europa Cup, like the last one they did in the spring, like a year or two ago.
yeah.
But I was there with a Norwegian friend of mine who used to go to this like school in Full or wherever all the good Norwegian skiers go to school, like that same academy.
Yeah.
And anyway, so a lot of his homies were there, and I
Who
just
is this guy?
John Thor, but he didn't compete all too much. He just did in high school and then went to college and was doing the exchange in Innsbruck. So where I
Right.
am now. Shout out John if you listen to this. Or no, Jon, however you say it in Norwegian. Jon Tor, I don't know. Anyway, So he's a homie, and we were skiing with his other homies, and they were so good at skiing, dude, like so good. And I was just like, damn, like that's sick. And I remember this kid was skiing on the most beat pair of skis that you've ever seen, right? Like no edges, nothing, like hucking whatever dub 16s on like not the biggest jumps. Like it was insane. And I was like, dude, don't you have a sponsor that sends you new skis? Like, oh, like I only get like one or two pair of years right now, or like I'm on Flow. I'm like, well, you're on Flow, like you're as good as anyone really can be skiing. Like that's insane. You know what I mean? And he's one of who knows how many who are just like so good nowadays and just never gonna get the support. Like I feel you probably did, hopefully at least, like 15 years ago when like it wasn't as crazy. It just feels like words.
And that's like the same too, I feel like, with companies or like sponsors. I mean, before like they had like such a vision of like what a team was, but now they're like, I don't know what a team is. Like, yeah, Monster do a like few things, but like they're not really a ski industry thing. Like, and then like some do like a promotion, or Armada is making a movie at least, or Faction is doing something. But like it's just like so hard because there's like a ton of that brands that like people want to be on, but like they don't really have like they don't even have team dinners at events, which I think is like kind of weird too. Like, and if they do, they don't invite everyone, or like you have to ask, and it's just like it's just so hard. I feel like sometimes in the ski industry to feel appreciated, or even like you're always there like on a chance, kind of like if you blew it, you're out, kind of thing. And that's like what like skiing has become so much nowadays. It's just like it's so hard. Like once you fall off, it's so, like the podiums like and stuff. It's so hard to get back on again because like it's also like you. I mean, I don't know, like because if you have like something now in skiing that sticks out, it sticks out for like an event or two, and then everyone learns it, and then it's like worth nothing. And even though like people, because I don't know, it's just like so much happened, and then like you have like the Europa Cups that no one wants to do, that like you have kind of to be forced to do if you're like too old to do the junior worlds and get like like a personal spot, but that one's personal spot is divided on 60 crazy good kids they also have to compete against. So I said it once, I think that would be the sickest to do, is just like to have a World Cup with an open qualification, and then like take top 30 from the year before and whatever list that goes straight to semifinal, and then just have an open qualification, and like doesn't matter how many nation it is, because
Yeah, it's so exactly, so long as everyone's in it, then it could be like the days of like staying on your computer refreshing a page to get the sign up for the open, like
kinda, it'd be something at least, or that I have like 150, I don't know, 100, I don't know, but like it's better to do that, I think, than to go on a Europa Cup that costs a lot of money and you win nothing from. Like you can spend a whole season, get second, and like, up, I didn't get the spot, so I have to do it all over again.
yeah, wait, what happened with that too? At what point did people stop winning money in contests and start winning points? Like, is that an active
Oh,
thing?
they win. They still win like cash in World Cups, but then Europa Cup or FIS Open, they're like not. You don't have to have like a prize purse. So that's like on the like the event organizers, if you want to have a prize purse on a Europa Cup. I remember like Emil Granbom won the whole Europa Cup, and I think he won like maybe 100 or 1,000 euros, maybe divided on like 4 or 5 contests or something. It was absurd.
That's nuts, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, you make more working, I think, literally anywhere else for like,
insanely much more. And then like, cause yeah, I mean, just flying out to go to, I don't know, Les Arcs or whatever, go to Lac Lucas and do it. And like, it's expensive just to fly there, to live there, to ski there, and to compete there. And you don't get anything back for it. I mean, fuck, if you get, I mean, the cost of just going to a World Cup, going to China and live, say you go from the US and you go to China, you get third, you get 3 grand. That's like barely breaking even, I think. But if you
yeah,
like count in lost work days on that too, then you're not making it, then you're breaking it.
that's nuts, dude. Wait, did you ever make it to X Games in your time?
No, I never.
No. Did you want to make it? Or
I
like,
mean, at some point, but then like I quit competing slopestyle because it's just like I can't be bothered really. I mean, but sure, I wanted to. It'd be sick to. I mean, I've been there with Jesper and Henrik, and I mean, shout out for everyone that does X Games. It's like super intense too. Fucking long days, hard work, and crazy course. But I mean, it'd be cool. But same there too. It's just like, I mean, I don't even know. I think X Games first now is 12 grand, maybe.
is it 12? Wasn't it like a lot back in the day? Like
Back in the days.
closer? No, it was like what, 30s? Or was it even more?
I think 30.
Yeah. Back when the dollar was like worth way more than today, too.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know. No, but it's just like price per sinking a little bit. But then like you don't make money competing if you don't win, like at all. I mean,
Like podium or like winning like first place, literally.
first place, you know.
Wow.
And then like that's like a group divided on like 4 or 5 people that's it's in between pretty much in all contests. I feel like there's one here and there that comes and grabs it, but mostly during the like if you count out like who's been winning like the past 10 years or 5 6 years, there's like you will see like the money split is not that like crazy. It's like either between like Burke, A. Colby, and those guys. I mean, Anthony, like for winning, but and I mean they do it good, but it's just like for everyone else, it's just like kind of it's hard. But then again, maybe you should make it harder then, like because that was like sick with X Games too, that they can invite the fuck they want.
Yeah.
It's like nice, I think, to have that like that old fucking formula of just like we want to see this person go crazy, so let's bring in him, and then like bring like make a show of it more. Like I think now it's just become so much not show it show la show.
Yeah. No, dude, I mean, speaking of the show aspect, like I myself would love to see World Cups or other tournaments. Like I've seen more of these competitions in person randomly showing up to a hill where they happen to be happening
Yeah,
than like a screen. Like
yeah,
I don't know how to stream them. Like maybe once or twice there's like a link in a homie's story and I can see them ski, but
yeah. But usually it's behind a paywall that costs like
yeah, or some
€5.
not available in Austria or like whatever the thing is, you know?
No, and that's like the thing too. Like when you go to these contests too, so you're there live. There ain't no people there.
No,
You're
dude.
like it's like might be on like a contest that's in a stadium or like it's like running equally with like a music festival or something because people like that because the music brings the like the festival brings like the people like the skiing doesn't, which I think is like a horrible job of the SIS, like not to make okay like how do we make people want to show up to our events instead of like And I like talk to that, and like I don't know, it's just like they don't want to change, and I want to be that change, and I feel like I couldn't be that change, and like people are more concerned about like how's the lip or like uh what the weather forecast for tomorrow instead of like how can we make it cool. Like I remember one time we were in Dubai and like they had to cancel the contest.
Oh, the one
uh,
this,
huh
the one this year?
Last year.
Wait, they almost canceled it and then didn't. And then a lot of people came to Innsbruck for the rock rail and partied.
Yeah, yeah, but last year they oh I think it was last year, or it was, doesn't matter, they canceled the final, so they went with the qualification results, but they still had like the TV slot. So I was saying like, well, like if you have the TV slot, like people like networks have paid a bunch of money, just go with the result and then just like put the cameras on the last bottom rail features and do a rail jam just for show, and like who can do the best trick, and just like do a fun contest, or like a jam or whatever to put something out instead of canceling it, because you have like the airtime in like hundreds of countries. Like it'd be cool, like people are sitting waiting to commentate for an hour and a half, like let's do something. And they're like they just laughed and like moved on. I was like, oh, sick. Like
No.
and I was like, dude, this is like, what is this then? Like we're just here for the points, or like the World Cup points or whatever. And it's just like we're not even here for the crowd. Like there's not a single event either where you have like top riders in the world. Like you should just bring up ski clubs that's from there. Like get to hang with the athlete, get to hang with me, take autographs and all that shit. It's just so important for all the kids, because that was like when I grew up in Ore, like they always had like poster, and kids still hang posters. You know, you write an autograph with a signed poster of yourself, and you just give it out and be like, "Shit, this is gonna go on my wall. It's gonna be," because my room was covered in all different sort of autographs and ski posters, and that thing got me, because that was the first thing I saw waking up and the last thing I saw going to sleep every day from my youth. And to have like all this talent moving around all over the world and not making that impact to kids in these countries, I think it's just like both for the FIS but also for the companies that sponsor this, right? I think it's a big opportunity miss.
Dude, I couldn't agree more. I mean, frankly, I think you had like the best timing with your ski career. You really got the golden eras, you know? Like, I think 2014, in my mind, the more I talked to people about this, like the more I realized it marked kind of the death of like the free skiing that I think we knew before then. Because of two things, right? Like film got killed and then comp got killed. Comp got killed by the Olympics, very obviously, right? For reasons we all know. And then you look at filming, what happens? Like short form video starts popping up on mobile, like Facebook, Instagram, they all go mobile.
Yeah.
And now you have this where the Olympics made skiing fit into this like one size fits all box for all sports, where you have to have points and national teams and all this BS that kind of like killed or like really aggressively competed against like the previous comp structure, which was like the X Games and the Do Tour and the Opens. Like for the film part, then everyone was like, oh, like community is here now, and like new schoolers started like losing ground to Instagram. And then our format that used to be so sick of like get some B-roll in, get some like quality shots in, like put some feel and love into your videos, like keep your clips for like a few months, like put them out in the fall, like make a big deal out of it. Like that also just got it so aggressively torched. Like it's just so sad like, looking back on it.
I also think you can add in I think 2016, I saw like a documentary when was the year when more platforms started to using like algorithms. And I think that is like something that is hard for skiing too, because now you have an algorithm or that push certain videos towards like this is what people like. But like what you said, like if you don't have like a hook in the beginning, if you don't have like anything that pops out that take the attention that makes you stop swipe for a little bit to watch, like if you try to make something like cool, cinematic, whatever, an edit for that example, like if you can see people post like fucking stupid Instagram or YouTube shorts or all this shit that just like explodes with view, and then like you upload the video and you put time and effort into editing and like choosing sound and whatever, and then you get like 100 views or whatever, which is like weird, I think, because that is in one point like the algorithm is pushing you like you like this, but like you also like this, and then like you start watching skiing, and then maybe you like start watching something about a Marvel movie, and then like you're looking into space, and then like you're I don't know, and like it drags you focus away from what you're like wanting to watch to like it forcing you to choose what you should watch.
Yeah, well, it's total brain rot programming, right? Like, what's your Instagram feed look like right now? I think mine is like corgis, hopefully some skiing, and definitely some people getting hurt while inebriated.
Yeah, I mean, I try to like just watch like when I go into the like search thing in skiing, I just like keep it skateboard, snowboard, and like skiing, and not try to push on anything else. I'm not trying to spend that much time on my phone because it's just like I was just like a few months ago, I was just like scrolling. It's like, what the fuck? I don't even know what I'm watching now. And then like I have like this question too when I like been traveling with like the kids from the team, and I like you how much like long have you been on your phone today? You can like check that thing and like see your screen time. It says like, oh, 5 hours. And like you spend 3 hours on Instagram. Okay, tell me 5 posts you watched today.
Oh yeah, I just
Look, can you do it?
could I do it? Let's see. I don't know if I was on Instagram today.
Uh,
Should I check my screen time? I probably was. What I watched? I watched. No, I don't think I was on Instagram today, man. I was just on my computer. I watched a few of your edits today for sure, and I remember those.
yeah. But that like such a like valid thing. I
But it's
think
true. Like I would not know.
on yourself, like even though like if you've been on Instagram for 15 minutes or whatever, and like you don't even have to be that long, but then like you asked, tell me 5 posts, and like there's so little people that can tell you 5 different posts they saw because it's like it's so like you said, brain rotting. It's just like it's nothing, and which I think is like also hard because then like content people that make edit like or like content creators they 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 adapt their videos, their like everything for for the algorithm to like get the numbers they want because if they don't they like just redo it and upload it again like until like it pops kind of, and
Yeah.
that's like the thing I don't like that the because then it's like say it's pops but it's then like yeah everyone watched it and like thousands of views and likes and blah blah blah, then it's just like but that what does it matter like because it's just like you got a ton of views but it's just like because you made it because the algorithm you learned the algorithm a little bit so like you did it you kind of got programmed to make it that way. It's just like not your choice. You're just like copying and doing the algorithm a flavor, and that flavor is to have people to stay on their website instead of like say fuck it.
Dude, yeah, it's very true, man. I fell into the trap big time myself. Like when the pandemic hit, I
Yeah,
I was sitting on like 5 years of clips. Like I was just posting edits on Facebook for my friends. Like none of them gave a shit about skiing. Like all my ski friends were kind of out of it already.
yeah,
fuck, like I need to do something with this. And I was working at Instagram, or like had recently left at that point.
Yeah,
So I kind of knew a few things about like growth hacking. So it's like,
yeah,
I'm just gonna like see if I can do it with skiing and like see if it can pop off. And it did, and I was like stoked on it for a minute. But the thing is, like, when you do pop off, it's like I tried to do it at least with creative editing. Like, that was my flavor, kind of like putting a lot of time into a single post. But to
word.
your point, like, that drops off eventually, right? And this was before Reels. So when Reels launched, my shit was dead in the water.
Yep.
Like, and I don't think I've really gotten it back since. And man, it was at the start, I was getting like I was putting out my stuff still and I was like real bummed that like it wasn't getting views and I was doing that stuff of like fuck delete or whatever. And then
Yeah,
wait, like who gives a shit? You're right. Like I'm just putting this out. I started thinking about like who do I really want to see this video? And it
right.
was maybe a list of like 50 people tops.
Yeah,
And when I post, I always just check and like, did my like 50 homies who I like to see this, like see it? Yes, great. Like the rest, like whatever, bonus points. But if Joe Blow, who's like saw this for three, cause watch anyone liking and scrolling Instagram.
yeah,
It's not that you're like, oh, like they're your mega fan or something. It's like, oh, great, cool. He jumped off the thing. Like, oh,
yeah,
dude, Pony is like doing a backflip too. That's insane. And then, oh, wow, that dude just fell off a bridge. Like, what? You know, and
yeah,
they're done.
yeah. And that's like what like I'm saying, because like what I like to watch is like before skiing or like to get stoked up, or like I like watch edit like still like, but then there's like so few people that makes just edit these days. Like they make them on Instagram, but like I'm usually like on the bike before skiing and just like on the TV or my computer and just like having Instagram, and like it's so sick in the fall because then it's when all the movie drops, so you can just like
Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna rewatch this one, you
Yeah.
know. But then like during the season there's like just everything on the gram, and I'll be like, but I don't want to be on my phone when like I want to sit in front of the TV and watch something. And there's like very few that makes like edits because I just want to see skiing. I don't want to see people talk about skiing or necessarily, sometimes maybe, but like most I just want to see like proper fucking sick ass edits. But like I just like uh see myself at the Y like be fuck now I'm still watching like the 2008 fucking hood video of Windell's, or you know like a fucking super old clown school video, or be
Dude,
like
I'm glad you brought that up, by the way, because when you said clown school gymnasium, I was like, does it
yeah,
have anything to do with clown school? Did they steal that from you? Is this a piece of lost ski history you just like you brought up?
yeah, no, it's not. I know Duncan Lake that who make those, and he was all oh no I don't know who. No, Junction 133 was Duncan. E Heat, what was it? E Heat that made
It was,
the.
and then like LJ was in it, Tim,
But no, I would say who created the clown school videos? Who was editing those and filming those?
didn't ski much longer after the clown school thing too. They were all just students at the U.
Yeah,
But
no,
bro,
just who was editing and filming it?
but that fuck video is like top five edits of all time in my head.
Yeah,
So good, dude. Like some
yeah.
crazy,
Credit E Heat was filming that one.
yeah, shout out.
Yeah,
But see, like, here's a good example. E Heath, like, that guy loved to film, right? Like, he wasn't necessarily out there doing tricks. Like, or I'm sure he was skiing for him, you know, but he wasn't getting behind the lens.
oh
Now,
yeah.
it's like, it's kind of hard to, like, get a homie to just come film. And
It's
it's,
insane, bro. That's like the hardest issue for me right now. Like especially now when like there's a World Cup, so all like the people that lives in Åre that I like can like usually ski with are on the World Cup. Like Jesper and Morten Grape is like a super homie. he's coaching now, so he's not home. And then like I was like skiing for myself 3 days in a row. It's like fuck, I just ski by myself, and it's just like it's fun, but it's just like it's just so much fun to just like lap and just film and talk or just ski. But like at the same time, like I've been filming some street this year. I think I hit 3 spots already. But I've filmed 3 spots, but I've like wanted to do so much more, but I don't have anyone that can film or wants to film or like it's just like and that like is the part I miss the most, having like this people in my age, same age, still skiing and still filming, because now it's just like the people that is in my age, they don't really ski that much more or
I feel you. I mean, even me at 25, most of my friends I grew up skiing with were like done, like just not into it anymore. And like now I live in Innsbruck and school and I can ski, but everyone's like 20 or something. Like I'm turning 30 in like 2 weeks.
yeah.
There's
20 would be nice for me, like if someone, but like literally in the park here, it's just like it's I don't know, 16 years old, but like mostly it's like 12-year-olds. Like I'm not trying to ski with no 12-year-old.
oh, bro, that could be your kid.
Yeah. No, that's like the hardest part, which is like was like that I missed. It was like the simpler time of being in the same age as everyone else that was doing what you were doing at the point. Because now it's just like not that many left.
Dude, I bet. Well, wait, I was also wondering, like, what was your experience like coaching, like, let's say Henrik, for example, who you like knew for so long, skied with, like, what's that relationship like?
I mean, it was just as it always been, just talk skiing, watch skiing. Just I never coached him. I was like a friend, being there, like saying, "Hey, you got this. You like it's easier." Or like just like, but mostly like people just ask, like, "Should I do this run or that run? Should I do this trick? Oh, maybe this trick." Like, what do you think about this? Like I'm not trying to be say like do this, do that. But like if they come and ask like what happened, I think, oh, maybe you like slipped or you like, didn't
Yeah.
dip the shoulder right. I never did that shit, because there's nothing can't tell these people that they don't know. But the thing I can tell them to have an eagle eye, you can watch what everyone else is doing, like how do you run compared to like the top dogs and like, you know, and then like I know what Hendrik's strengths are, so I can tell him like you got that trick, you do that. But that was like, I mean, the most impressive thing I ever witnessed with Hendrik was that one X game he won when they had to do 6 or whatever it was, 7 different tricks,
Yeah.
and he's just like boom, 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 like stick ass trick every like. He's like, what should I do? And then it's like top 16. Like he said it, and I was like, yeah. And then okay, I do it. I was like, but he had a plan for sure. But he's just like, but that was like really impressive. And then like I remember with like you go to the airbag with the team, and then like I do always like sometimes we always had like big air contests on the airbags, so saying like, okay, we have a 30-minute warm up and then like 2 runs, best one counts, or like this time we're doing 3 runs, 2 best one counts. They have to be different. Or like, okay, it's X games, like 6 different jumps, like best one counts, and then I film everything, make a little video, and then like we all have to sit down and like we voted for like who we thought it would. You couldn't vote for yourself.
Yeah.
That was like funny too, to just do it like that. But that like kind of shows how people be like when we did that 6 different jump, people were like, I don't know what to do now. I don't have 6 tricks. And be like, oh, maybe you learned something there, buddy.
Yeah. It's like just I'll spin less.
Yeah, But that was like, so that like it was the fun part with coaching. You can like goof around and just like make a little contest that doesn't like the person who wins, like, I don't know, got a pizza or something, frozen pizza or whatever. It's just like didn't matter, and like everyone like thought it was fun. But so that like it was a lot of fun. It was fun traveling with the team and everyone, and especially to see people progress, but also like taking their careers outside of contests. Like Hugo, when I did that movement movie this year with Swed, that was like so sick to see him skiing street. And
Yeah.
Emil took like the turn against towards backcountry, which is like sick too to see them not quitting skiing after competition, kind of like evolving and like growing into and getting into other aspects, which is like also a fun journey to be able to watch from the sideline.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. You have that outlook at like as a coach on everyone too, to like see where they're going with it.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit, but then again, like it's just it's just sick to just see people like on the sideline, kind of just
Yeah.
because I feel like I've been in skiing, like met so many of all type, like all like so many different skiers, and like it's so fun to just be able to be witnessing some of like ski what you said before, like the sickest time of skiing going down, and also like seeing the skiing going down the happening now. I mean, even if it's not like when we grew up, it's what it is now, and it's sick to see that people still like care about filming or like taking their tricks to the backcountry and all that stuff, you know. So it's dope to see that it still lives a little bit, but it's just I think it's just like a little bit harder now to just stick out in the crowd and to get recognition. If you're not like Jesper who like drops a part that's just like every trick is just like insane.
Yeah, I mean, he's so good. Dude, I have one last coaching question for you. Did you go to the all three Olympics, or were you coaching for the first one?
No, I was trying to like I was on the team trying to qualify for that one, but then like I said, I jumped. I quit and like focused on filming instead, and so I didn't go to the Sochi one. But apparently afterwards, I met the guy who was the coach. Then he's like, "Oh, it sucks that you quit like just a month before. Like you could have gone." And I was like, why didn't you tell me that?" Just but I don't know if he just said that. I don't know. But if it, I've been to the Olympics and it's crazy. It's just like a little bit too much of like the federation and
Yeah.
the committees, and it's just like so much.
Like, what's your experience as a coach there? Because I've heard the athlete perspective from a few people already, but what does a coach do at the Olympics? Like, what does that look like? And
I don't know. Just like make sure like everyone makes it the bus on time, or like just like random bullshit. And like Olympics is very easy since like there's especially in Beijing, because everyone just pointed or like go there, go there, go there. Like don't stand there. Like swab here, open your mouth, do all that like nose things.
yeah,
But I don't know. I mean, it's not that. It's just like any other contest, really. It's just like I'm not nervous. It's like I'm not. I'm just trying to like, as I said before, like making sure like everyone is good with everything, and just have. Oh, actually, I brought like a bunch of DVDs, ski DVDs to the Pyong or the Beijing one. So we were watching like session 1242 and like all the level one movies when we were there. So that was my tribute. What's the word? Tribute to the team.
crazy you could find a DVD player.
Oh, it was just like a PS5 that you could put in the DVDs in.
Nice. Any good like stories from the Olympics? Like if you had to pick one?
Uh, this last one was kind of sick when Jesper had gotten third at the at the slopestyle. We went down to the wax room or the bag room where we had like all the equipment and ski bags and all this and that. I remember because we were like a little late because everyone else left, and then we met Donny B and Mate, and they were wasted. So they like gave beer, and Donny B was rolling ciggies, so we were like all smoking cigarettes afterward. So that was pretty funny. That was a good one. You don't
Oh,
see a lot of other Olympic athletes drinking beers and smoking cigarettes.
dude, I see Danny up at Pachico full here every day, just chilling, lapping. Like, I remember
Yeah,
last year I saw him and we were just like chilling, ripping some beers at the top of the park.
yeah.
And I was like, dude, what are you doing next week? He's like, oh, I gotta go to the US. I'm like, oh, what for? He's like, oh, dude, I'm like in X Games. I'm like, whoa, like really? It's like, what event? Big Air. Like, dude, have you hit jumps recently? He's like, not really. Like, it's fine.
Oh, he got it. He's the best.
He
Yeah,
got bronze, which was insane. Like, yeah, big shout out to him. He's so good.
yeah. He is fucking illest. He was like also good story from him was when there was the qualification at the Olympics. Uh, we all were like it was freezing cold, so we were all sitting inside watching like the everyone's runs from the TV, and then like it comes up like a text saying section by section, which is like the competition. Like you, each section gets scored
Yeah.
like individually. And then if he goes like, "What the fuck is section by section?" I was like, "Well, this is like the thing that that we've been talking about the past 2 years about like how Olympics gonna be." And then like it's been like had been that in a few contests too, like the section by section. I thought it's so sick.
That's
He just didn't give a fuck and he sick.
Dude, do you like section by section? I've heard mixed reviews.
I don't know. I don't know. I think yeah, maybe not. I don't know. It's just I don't know. Do I like I mean, it doesn't matter, I don't think. I mean, it's it's judges choosing who's gonna win either way. It's section by section, or if it's not, and like sometimes to get it right, sometimes to get it wrong. But that's like the thing with the sports. It's always like that. And I mean, even the person who won should, in a big air, when it's not section by section, did he do the best trick? Like it's always dividable. And
Yeah.
the thing with section by section, I will say though, is that I think that rails are being a little bit too high scored compared to the how uh how does it say it? The rails a little bit too high like score compared to the jumps. Like say to do a 9 on like to get like a 9 point something 9.0 on a jump, you have to do like a really fucking hard trick perfectly.
Mm.
But to like to get a 9 on like a rail, you could like do like a lip 4 to switch, which is like I've seen it like in a bunch of contests. Like there's some like I'd be like, yeah, it's a good trick. It's a very good trick. Like depending on the rail, but is it a dub 18 equally hard?
No.
You know. Uh, so that's like the only thing, and I think that'd be kind of sick if they would lower the scores on rails to make that risk equal reward a little higher, because the ways it's just so much easier to just take the safe route and do like a 2 on front 2 and take like a 4 or 5 or something and just to get pass on it and like try to gather points on the jumps instead of like trying to do like I don't know, say you do switch forward to P2, which is like really hard.
Yeah.
But like you could also like, but like if you do a switch forward to press 2, which is a hard fucking trick, you get like a 10, a perfect 10. But then you can do like a 4 on to press 2, which is like fairly easy, and you get like an 8.5, but you're not taking the risk of like, you know.
Not worth extra 0.5 points, pretty much.
No, and it's not, and I think it would be more exciting if they would lower the rail trick points to where like if you do a 2 on, like everyone can do that pretty much on a down rail. Like that is a 1.5.
Yeah. Dude, I agree. I mean, maybe I'm like one of the few, but I kind of low-key more enjoy watching the rails on a comp
Yeah.
run than the jumps, because the jumps, I'm like, I get it. You spin a lot. It's so sick. It's gas. Like, I'm never gonna do that. I can't really empathize with it. But if I watch people throw down on rails like that, I'm kind of, it's
Yeah.
more relatable. So I kind of get more excited about seeing that because I can really understand how much gnarlier the switch forward P2 is than the forward P2. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's an absurdly hard trick to do, but I also do watch skateboard a lot, and I watch Street League, and the shit they do first try is like, I feel like 100 times harder than a switch for P2. So I definitely think it's like, and uh, if you would like score rails higher, people would practice rail higher, so people would be more consistent on doing harder tricks, like they like do like because now big air and slope style jumping is kind of equally like you use kind of the same environment. You use the airbag or like you do it on snow, whatever you like. But rails is just something that I feel like is something that could like what you said, like you can do someone can do something that sticks out and whatever what everyone been saying for years is like say it's 3 jumps and 3 rails and you're a fucking rail god, you should be able to do a fairly like mid, like a dub 12 switch 10 to switch dub right 9 on the jump, but you do like a crazy insane hard rail run that should be equally to an insane jump run with a fairly mid rail run. But that is the only thing I don't see equaling out. But that doesn't matter if it's section by section or if it's like overall scoring. So I think in one way that harder rail tricks should be way more rewarded, and tricks like 4 on to switch, 4 to 2 out, 4 press 2, switch 2, press 2, switch 2, blind 2, all those tricks, like those should be very, very low scored.
Yeah.
Since pretty much everyone can do them. It's
Yeah.
like, I don't know, it's like the first, like a 2 on, 2 out, like you can't compete with that for me sometimes. If it's like that with a flavor or something, you do it, you popped it from the noses or whatever, then we're talking. But like just so straight up from the side, front 2 out, not nothing else, nothing less, just like it can't be more than a 1.1, you know? But because it is like that. If you if you compare it to, it's like what is that equivalent to on a jump? Then
Yeah.
it's like a 540.
Yeah. No, you're right. That's a good, interesting way to look at it, dude. Jesper would do so well if they flipped that. Man,
I mean, I think of just like there's a lot that are good rail skiers, but they know that they don't have to do it. Like they don't have to do like crazy hard rail runs because like they can do this something that's like mid, because mid for them is like very easy. But like if they would step it up like a notch, like then we're like, oh shit. But then like it's taking too much of a risk, and that's like the thing that I don't like with like that the risk of failing a rail is like hard, like bigger than failing a jump kind of.
yeah.
But then again, like watching Street League, I don't understand how it's possible to like you don't have a lip, so you pop from your skateboard, which is completely flat, and you flip the board up onto a rail that's fucking 10 stairs, and you slide it down or grind it down, and you like flip out of it and be like, all right, that is insane to do, and you do it like first or second try, which is like I get it, like they have like a little bit more what's it called? They can fail a little bit more because they can like save it up to make it on the next one. Like with a slopestyle run, you really can't do that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It doesn't matter for me. I think like I like to be honest, like I don't care what it is, but it's just the overall. I think people can just watch a run and say like, that's probably like 86, and be like, oh, 86 it was, or like 87. Like they kind of get like a more like level of what it should be instead of like having section by section, you put in like numbers in a program and it's just pops out, and then like, oh, what, I got like a 62, and then like, oh, 62 was like pretty good in this at this contest apparently, because it just was, I don't know, but I just like the OG way just because it's just something everyone is kind of familiar on.
Yeah. For sure.
But I don't mind it. It's whatever, it's fun with something new, but I don't know, I just sometimes I just like, I don't think it's the judgment, like the way they judge that should be changed. Maybe I think it's other aspect in ski in competitive skiing that should be changed.
Yeah, I know what you mean for sure. Well, dude, we're closing in on 10 p.m.
Yeah,
Boom.
yeah, holy shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that call had me look at my phone. I was like, oh shit, hell yeah. Dude, before we drop off, two things. One, what's happening in the future world of Niklas Eriksson? Do you focusing on dad mode, I guess, or do you have any like ski projects coming up?
Uh, I'm trying to get more into skiing again. I We'll see what we're doing. I talked a little bit with Jesper uh, during the holidays, and we actually filmed. We filmed already one spot together this year, so we're talking maybe if we do a project together this year, or if I don't know. We'll see. I'm trying to drop something, but I will see depending on how the fatherhood is treating me this year. See if I'm playing a little low this year and like going a little bit more in next year. But I'm definitely like, I ain't stopping yet.
Hell yeah.
I like a real revival in myself. Got like the juice back.
That's sick, dude. Yeah, it sounds like you never really stepped away from like skiing as a whole anyway, because you were coaching.
Oh,
Always been
no,
in.
like it's been such a big part of my life, and it's not. It will always be there, and I still love it. I still love the challenge of what free skiing and filming has to offer me, and I like I said in that uh, when I went with Istat with the Howard Low gang to Finland, like made like a hard trick, and like the gratification and like the stoke of like the trick high or the clip high you get, like I hadn't felt that for so long, and like that definitely like had me thinking like, damn, this is, I miss it this, and I want to keep doing it, and I don't care if it's like I don't plan to fucking go pro again or do anything. I just like I want to do it. I love it. I think it's the sickest sport that ever happened. Like this is the sickest thing that ever happened to me in my life, and it like all the friends I have is from skiing, and the place that it took me, and yeah, it's just like I learned so much from it. So I don't think I ever let go, but I'm still feeling like I'm 35 or turning 35 in a month, but haven't felt younger. Just my body is a little bit sore, but like I can deal with that. You just have to like think about like the little like the have the bike, the trainers on the road bikes. I'm like on that every day and a little bit here and there, but you know, just try to still stay healthy and stay hungry, kind of.
Hell yeah, dude. Well said.
But
And
then I also will try to become a good father as well.
the good father. Dude, the second thing was I wrote some questions down that I wanted to make sure I get to just throughout the thing. Let me hit you with
Oh
a
yeah.
round real quick. Um, okay, we've hit a lot of these. Few sentences. What was your experience filming with like Lion Traveling Circus? What was the vibe there as a European, like in the crew?
It was a great time. I mean, I'm very. I mean, there it was some of the funniest trip I've been on because like Will is how he is. He's like so strict and shy, but also like say how it is. And Andy is like so loose and like getting goofy, and it's just like so fun to hang with those people. Like it was like, and Shane who was filming at the time, awesome guy too, and like genius behind the camera, and those guys like in killing it. Like there's like older than what I am and like still doing it, still loving it, still producing good fucking shit. And I had a blast hanging with them. Like hard to keep up with all like their like their skits and like how like what they do, but it was like cool to like get to watch and like see a few how like a few episodes were being filmed,
Yeah.
how much it goes into it.
Yeah, dude. I was with them in the van for one of them as well. They did an episode in New York City while I was living there, and I forget who sent it to me, but I had met Will and LJ like previously, and so just DM them like, "Yeah, I'm around. You guys want to hit some spots? Like, I know a bunch that I'm never gonna be able to lace. Like, you can have them." And they're like, "Yeah, for sure, dude." So I just kind of like also learned about their process, and it's really interesting. Like also seeing how Will's mind works at spots, dude. Like LJ was like, "Yeah, big rails for sure, let's do it." Then Will would find some weird offshoot of something that like would kill you probably if you fucked it up.
Yeah,
He's like, this will work.
yeah.
And
He's really wizard with that.
oh, for real, dude, it's like crazy. And then oh, we also had a Ross on the trip, Ross in Berja.
Yeah.
But sick, right on. And then yeah, let's covered a lot of these. Oh, did you go to Nine Nights? How was that?
uh, it was something. It wasn't what I pictured it to be. It was like it was not like it was like crazy when I was there. It was like helicopters and like Nico took so good care of us. But I just for me it was like it was a little too. I didn't understand really what what I was supposed to do. Like we were filming jump, okay, well, like hitting the jump, and then like, oh, but someone is filming over there. I'm like, yeah, it's a like I didn't get it. So and like the when we were there, like the castle they built, like were it was hard. It was like a lot of like weird transitions and stuff, and like it was like basically a big jump with transitions. So I don't really remember much of it, to be honest. I remember Kiefer was there, and Kiefer had just like met Maya, who is his wife now, and that was like, and she's from Sweden too, so it's just like funny to be around them and then like see them in the US after that like a ton. So that was sick to meet them first because that was the first time I met Kiefer, I think. And that's basically what I remember. I don't remember anything really. I remember there was like I don't even know how the contest was run. There was just like last day or giving out prizes for best this and that. I was like, oh, what? Like,
They're prize. Sick.
understand. There's like some photos of like someone riding like go-kart dressed as Mario and like Luigi who won a prize, and it's like, what was it? Where were I? Like, and that was like just like a photographer's like specific thing, and like I don't know, it was just like crazy. It was a fun experience, but it was like I was not like understanding the concept really, to be honest.
Sick.
It seems like now it's like really sick. It's like more structural. Like it's like more like, okay, here's like the thing. We film you, go shred, go crazy, go ham. But like when we were there, it was like nothing really like that. I don't think I've seen that much footage from like that year when we were there, because it's like I don't know really what happened really back then. I remember like watching the few first events, like, oh, what, this is crazy. I want to go there. And then like I got there, and then like I think it might have been like in the transition of like Instagram going from like still being not just photos, and
Yeah.
not like, so I think like a lot of like picture was being taken and like not maybe that much film footage.
Yeah, I don't know, dude, because I remember those video contests, the wanna be at nights where
Yeah.
you do like the both way switch sevens, nines, and or like forward and switch.
Mhm.
So there's definitely like a video element to it, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. But that was like the qualification, like to get invited to it, you had to like submit like your one like your submission to the nine nights. And then like I did that, and then Nico reached out and said, like, hey, like you won, like if you want to come, you can come. And I was like, sick, like let's go. So that was that. That was like the entry for it. But that's what I mean. Like I remember everyone putting out like the edits to go, like to want to become like a knight. But then like when we got there, I don't remember what the final result was, and I think that was like what was so confusing for me, at least,
I bet. Okay.
because I thought it was like a team event, or like I don't know, people skiing in lederhosen or doing flips naked and like partying, and it was some partying, but it was like kind of, I don't yeah, it's just like I don't remember what the, because everything else that comes out now looks like it's crazy, like crazy jump, crazy builds, and like this was a crazy build, but I remember like Line put up like a video of like me and Lauren Favre who were there, and maybe Roy Kittler was there too. But that was like a just a short video from that time. But that's like the only thing I saw from there. So
It's so funny you didn't even see your own clips from it.
yeah, I don't know. Or like I don't know if it was bad weather. I can't remember. It was like a long time ago. But it was like it was a cool experience. Like glad I've been there too, I guess.
Hell yeah. And in contrast, an experience with like Kimbo session.
Kimbo was dope. Kimbo was like uh kind of like how the park shoes was back in the days in one way. Is just like a little bit more loose, because like you don't have like helicopters and like people that's dedicated like to film you like we're gonna make a movie. It's just, but it was like a nice vibe. I definitely think Kimbo pulls like to make that happen. It's like amazing. It's like it was crazy that this year, because it was in May, and it was, I think, 2 days in a row was like 27 degrees hot.
It was really warm, dude. I remember 'cause a lot of people were here in Innsbruck for some event, but they all went, or maybe this is Dubai, I think, but they all went there afterwards. I was like, there's barely any snow left on the glacier. Like, you're telling me there's a whole insane snow park somewhere in Sweden right now? Like,
Yeah, no, but that was sick, because like I wanted to go. Like I'm no Kimbo for probably half my life, and never ended up going. I don't know why, really. Just like I think both have to be like I was so burnt out after the season, or like in May is usually like when you had to set the budget for the next year. So it's like always pretty busy. But like I finally got to go, and it was so fun. Just like nice way for everyone to wrap up the like the season, and that was like like what I was talking about with like World Cups, how people are like in their own groups, kind of. Because like in Kimbo session, it's just like everyone hanging, skiing, talking, interacting, living with each other, and it's just like so. And I was like really happy that like this still exists in like with like that these people also get to experience that like that I got to experience when I was traveling and like and where they are in their careers. So that was like really inspiring to see that Kimbo had like taken that and making that vibe happen, because there's no park shoots nowhere really, and that is like the main park shoot, I guess, in the world now. So
Well, I guess 9 nights and
true.
hey, Gym League's like public parks, so there are others for sure, but it's not that much of a thing. You're right.
No, but this is like a closed park. There's just like, I mean, 9 is like that too. That's true. But this is just like everyone can come, and it was sick. And it's also like sick to just see how good everyone is. Like how Kim can build like all these crazy fucking features, and like you can really tell why the people are that's there that like that competes, why they are so fucking good, because they can ski everything, and they can be gnarly on a perfect like 75 80 footer, or they can be like so gnarly on like a knuckle that's just like they went crazy.
Those triple backflips on the spine last
Yeah,
year,
PY classic.
insane.
Like insane too. I love it too. In the ski or a bike helmet with
Yeah.
PY just fully. It was so sick too. You could see it because he did like when he did the double backflip, like he come up and like you could tell like, oh yeah, he's going triple. So that was awesome. It was awesome to see PY. I haven't seen him for so long, so that was cool too.
Yeah.
To like see, to see like Phil, how fucking good he is. B Dog, when he's like all these guys are there, and I think Phil did this gnarly fucking tail drag 7 that was like the most insane thing I ever seen in my life live, and it's just like holy shit, it's so sick that I got to witness that, and the Phil is just like something else on skis. He's just like it was crazy. Even though like everyone else did like crazy shit, but that was for me like when Phil did that, I was like, holy shit, that was. I don't even know how he did it. That was. I
Hell
don't
yeah.
know how he did that.
Love that that's the standout for you. So, okay, right on. 2 more flash questions.
Yep.
Were you the first person to do a switch cork 3?
I don't know.
I don't know. The first time I saw it, I'm pretty sure was in a Lion Traveling Circus episode, and you had done it in the gibberish black and green sweater. It's cemented in my mind, but I couldn't even find the episode anymore.
No. Yeah, it was in Canyons, I think it was.
Yeah.
Probably not. But I did one.
Yeah, right on. And then
I know I did actually. I did like I think I don't know, not exactly, but I'm definitely know that I'm like was the Switch Dub Misty 12 when Bobby did it. I know I'm not sure if anyone else had done it, but I remember I was like at least second or third of doing that trick. And then I do think, I don't know, I didn't know spotter doubles too kind of early. Not before Hendrik, but definitely like in the early stage of that too. But I don't remember really.
That was going to be my next question. Who did the Nosebud 12 first? Because you had that one pretty early on at was it the West Coast sessions or something?
I did it before the West Coast session, I think, but I did it there, and I did it at a contest too. But I think definitely Henrik had it first, because for sure. But I did the Switch Dub 10 first. I have that on him.
Hell
But
yeah.
it's funny, like, but we do the same axis because we learned we didn't like when we had like a place in Aura where like all the kids were hanging out and they have trampolines out inside, and me and Hendrik didn't like to do like double flips, like when you go like fully over the head,
Yeah.
because we didn't like that because it was like scary for us. So we like learned to do it like the orbital way instead. And so our Switch Dub 10s in the beginning were looking very much alike, and like he took it to the next level when he did the triple like that too.
Yeah.
The orbital thing. So that's kind of sick too that we learned it on a trampoline and then we both did it, and there's not like that many that does that rotation, which I don't understand because it's so much nicer, I think, than the Switch. Maybe it's a little harder, but the Switch Dub 10, always come down like on the feet, but like the orbital, if like it's hard, you could get like a little crooked in the landing, I guess. But I don't know. It's kind of weird.
The landing of yours looks way mellower than any other switched up 10s I've seen.
Yeah, but like
It looks a lot funner.
if you land it good, it's good. But like it's easy to like get like stuck in it a little bit. But I think everything that you flip is almost easier to do than like you are in between, like the off axis ish.
Yeah, it's probably easier to throw for sure.
Yeah. Or like stay in the rotation is harder, but like because once like if you huck a Switch Dub 10 and you go Switch Dub 10, you will like and you have a good speed, I feel like you land it like on your feet at least all the time. With like the orbital, it's like get a little funky. Like it's hard to get like the perfect rotation all the time, even though Henrik perfected it. And like, but like you can tell like when Henrik gets a good one, like it's like so fucking insane. Because
Yeah.
then like when he does the triple too, and his butt is just like.
Right. Yeah, it's corkscrew.
Yeah, it's just like so hard to do that.
Oh, it's insane, dude. I could not.
Yeah, but I don't know with the Swiss cork. I don't think I did that first. There's no way. I think there must have been someone before. I just
I have
can't.
to look into it because I don't have any evidence otherwise.
No, I don't know. Good question, but I don't think I'm probably. I don't know. Who knows?
Someone's got to know, dude. Someone needs to like write down all the, cause, like some tricks we all know, like first quad or first triple.
First quad is Andre or what?
No, it's Jackson.
Oh,
Wacko.
yeah, he does the orbital too.
Yeah, very orbital.
Yeah, yeah,
First
he's
Sammy.
that one. And Matei did one too in the faction video, and then he fell off.
Yeah, I saw that. That's funny. Well, dude, we'll wrap it up there. Any shout outs, any word you want to put out to the people?
Uh, I mean, I don't know. I'm so fried in my brain right now for talking, but
Here, bro. We'll cut it at that. Screw it.
I think like a lot of people have been name dropped during this one, so shout out to them and shout out to everyone I forgot.
There you go. Dude, I'm gonna cut it there. I'll stay on, but goodbye to anyone who listened. Thanks for tuning in for the over 3 hours that we got in.
My God, Jesus.
All right. Boom.